Hello, and welcome to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, where we are going to be doing a watch-along of the Florida Panthers taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. My name is Nick Berlansky, and I am the host of a couple podcasts here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Obviously, I host the Penguins podcast, the Tip of the Iceberg podcast, new episodes every Monday and Thursday, as well as the Hockey Hotbed podcast, where I cover the entire league on episodes on Tuesday and Friday. But today, I'm not doing either of those things. Today, I am here to watch along with you, the great followers on YouTube of the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm here to watch this game between the Penguins and the Florida Panthers. We're going to have a really good, really fun night. We're going to watch the game, have some discussions about hockey, and hopefully we're going to see some really good hockey between these two teams. The last time these guys met was actually just a couple weeks ago. They met in what was the Florida Panthers season opener and the second game of the season for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That game ended in a 5-4 final where the Pittsburgh Penguins had a 4-2 lead late in the third period before Aaron Ekblad went off on the Pittsburgh Penguins to tie the game, and Carter Verhaeghe was able to put it away, which would be the first of what has been a very good month for the Florida Panthers. They are 10-2-1 so far in the season, one of the top teams in the NHL. I rank them as the best team in the NHL right now. Let us know in the comments if you think the Florida Panthers are the top team. Now, we already have some people joining the stream. Isha Jerome, thank you. I think that might be, turnabout is fair play. I called them beauties when him and Dylan were on a stream earlier in the season, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And like I said, this is going to be very give and take. So if you want to leave a comment, I will talk about it. We'll have a really open discussion here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Also want to mention that this stream and most of everything that happens on the Hockey Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings. So make sure you use promo code THPN at sign up for great odds and opportunities. Once again, that is promo code THPN at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Now, with that, I did want to mention a couple of things really quickly along the lines of sports betting, along the lines of DraftKings for this specific game. If you go over to DraftKings right now, the over-under is set at 6. When I think about that, 6 goals between these two teams. The Florida Panthers all year, and it's fairly obvious, have been a very, very solid team. I mean, those guys can score goals flat out. It might help that they do have some really good goaltenders. That's why I might have pause on saying whether or not I go over 6. But as of right now, if you bet the over on this game, it is minus 105. So pretty decent odds. I would say over. You know what? You don't want to bet for there not to be goals. I'd love to see a 7-6 game. Honestly, I would probably get mad because the defense was awful. But at the same time, it's a lot more fun when you're watching with friends and you see the lamp lit several times. Mad Mike Sports and Entertainment joining us. What's up, everyone? What is up, Mad Mike? Thank you for joining. I'm excited to meet a lot of these YouTube subscribers, which if you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel because you will get watch-alongs like this almost every single day, or at least 3 times a week. And it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. We're only going to see more and more hosts joining and doing the same exact thing. I'm sitting here. We are now, 6:58. So probably about 7 minutes from puck drop. It's going to be a really, really tough matchup between, like I said, the Florida Panthers are 10-2-1. They're clearly the favorite in this game, even though it is at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh. Now, if you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins side of things, 4-3-4, not the best of starts for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But when you look at the way that they have played, and I might be a little biased because I have watched almost every single Pittsburgh Penguins game simply because I cover the team. They're a lot better than their record indicates. And we mentioned it on the Tip of the Iceberg podcast earlier this week that, yeah, they're 4-3-4, but of that is a 1-4 record in overtime. And if we look back to last season, the beginning of the year, the only time the Penguins would win would be in overtime or a shootout. And we were asking the question, will they ever win in regulation? Now, it's been the reverse, and that's why you see the record you have here. But hopefully this game, which is in Pittsburgh market. I know it's on AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh. If you're not in either of these two markets, which Mad Mike is asking in the comments where you can catch it, if you subscribe to ESPN Plus, that's how I will be watching this game, just simply because luckily I am out of market, but also Isha given some tips and tricks there. He's obviously he's the boss. I don't know what else to say there. He is the boss, so he knows all. So I defer to him on almost everything. But it should be a really good game tonight. Obviously, head coach Mike Sullivan back behind the bench after a bout with COVID, going up against Andrew Burnett on the other side for Florida. But more specifically, I want to talk about the goaltending matchup here because it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Obviously, if you're looking at which team has the edge in goaltending, you're going to lean to the Florida Panthers. You have a guy like Sergei Bobrovsky who has won. He has one. Sorry, I just shouldn't look at comments whenever I see issues come up because they're going to make me laugh every single time. Apparently, we have a Pens fan already joining, and that is Kate Berry, who is that, I believe, a Green Bay Packers Abby. And, we don't hate it. We don't hate it. If you're a Pens fan, that means you've done great. So thank you, Kate, for joining. We're hoping that you enjoy this stream. Thank you for being with us. And will also remind everybody that if you like this stream, if you are having fun, which we're hoping to have fun, great conversation is what I'm looking for in the comments. I'll chime in. Hopefully everybody chimes in as well. But if you have fun and you like your experience, please drop us a like because all that does is help us get out there and bring more fans to this forum. So I'm very excited. Also, Katrina Nicole, who I think I know you. I think I might know you. I might have known you for a long time. So she says, Pens fan here as well. Thank you and welcome to the stream. But like I was saying, Sergei Bobrovsky is a Vezina caliber guy who sometimes has not played at a Vezina caliber level. He's getting paid $10 million. You hope that eventually he turns it on. And so far this season, so good. I mean, they're 10-2-1. I'm pretty sure I would have to double check this because I don't have that much space for that many notes down here. But I'm pretty sure he has not lost a game in regulation. Or actually, I don't know if he's lost a game at all. I'll double check that. But he has been, regardless of his record, he has been a top-tier goaltender thus far into the season. And that's great if you're the Florida Panthers because who do they have waiting in the wings right now? They have Spencer Knight. And Spencer Knight is, numbers aren't great this season, but overall, his numbers have been pretty good for a young goaltender. And he's also expected to be a very, very good goaltender. So I was correct. Sergei Bobrovsky right now, 6-0-0, a 172 goals allowed average, and a 948 save percentage. Not looking good for my early bet on the over of 6 goals. On the other side, of course, I haven't even mentioned the fact that Tristan Jarry will be in net for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 4-2-3 on the year with a 2.28 goals allowed average and a 926 save percentage. So if you look at the goalie battle, it does not lend towards that over bet that I played on DraftKings. But you know what? We'll stick with it because I look at the Florida Panthers, Sasha Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau, also Anthony Duclair. These guys are scoring goals. Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart, the list goes on. Anton Lundell, Jesse Marshall, who is somebody that I speak to a lot, was very high on Anton Lundell going into that draft year when the Penguins still had a first-round pick, although we all should have known that that wasn't going to last. But Anton Lundell paying dividends for the Florida Panthers, who ended up getting him. We'll see what he does again tonight. But then you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're still without Sidney Crosby. He might be back on Saturday. Again, might. The COVID situation is weird in Pittsburgh. Same with Brian Dumoulin, who has been historically one of their best defensive defensemen. But you look at the big additions for those guys, they get Marcus Pettersson back and Chad Ruhwedel back from the COVID protocol. So the defense should be better than what we've seen from the Pittsburgh Penguins. At least a little bit better. But what we saw the last couple of games when all of these players were out was horrendous. It was really bad. Thinking back to the Philadelphia Flyers game, a game in which the Penguins actually won, they gave up 17 first period shots. So it's nice for them to get a couple of defensive defensemen back in Ruhwedel and Pettersson to try and slow down this Florida Panthers team. But realistically, it's going to be hard for them to do that regardless. I'm trying to pull up the stream right now. It is not loading on my television because ESPN Plus takes a second always. But we will continue to look for it here. Also live. Sorry about that. ESPN Plus. I love it and I hate it at the same exact time. Now, Isha, I'm not squarely against Martin Jones as much as, say, my counterpart on Tip of the Iceberg, Nick Horwat, is. Now I have the stream up. That's great. But if it's down to Tristan Jarry or Martin Jones, who is better? Although Martin Jones has been to a Stanley Cup final, and you cannot take that away from him. I do remember that Stanley Cup final too, because there was a team in black and gold that won. But if I'm choosing between the two, I'm still sticking with Tristan Jarry. I mean, Martin Jones now is a backup, and he's going to be a backup. That's what he is in this league. Tristan Jarry, at least, like I said, 926 save percentage. Now, let's not, if this game goes into a shootout, which I'm already going to say this right here. Not a fan of shootouts right here. Don't like it. Think it's an awful way to end a team sporting event. But if it goes into a shootout, it's not going to go well for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like I said, I had 0-3 in the shootout for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tristan Jarry has made 3 saves on, I believe, 9 shots. It's not good. Not good. Keywords has been. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point there. That's a good point. Like I said, he's the boss. He's the boss. I digress on that. I'll back off. But looking at what's going to happen here, we have puck drop just moments away. They're singing the anthem as of right now. I want to pull up the starting lineups for these two teams. Right now, it looks as if we're going to have Gensel, Carter, Rust, obviously the Penguins' de facto first line without Sidney Crosby. They're going to go up against the big heads for the Florida Panthers and Anthony Duclair, Sasha Barkov, and Carter Verhaeghe. Like I said, Bobrovsky and Jarry in net. And Matheson Letang is the top D pairing for the Pittsburgh Penguins still. That's a little scary. That's a little scary looking at that because Mike Matheson, a lot of people joke, is a forward. But at the same time, he hasn't been too bad. I've seen a couple of instances where his gaffes in the defensive zone have turned almost directly into a goal. But the number is down a lot more. And the question this year with Mike Matheson, who is a former Florida Panther, obviously, that's where he came over from. They're the ones that signed him to that absolutely horrendous contract. So we can thank Florida while they're in town for signing him to that awful contract and then pawning it off on us. But Mike Matheson, so far, has not been too bad, which we didn't know what to expect because last year we were able to get good minutes out of him. We were able to get good production out of him playing alongside Cody Ceci, which, again, nobody expected to see Cody Ceci be the one to unlock Mike Matheson's true potential. But it's what happened. And now, of course, Ceci cashes in Edmonton. Who does Matheson play with? Well, with the injuries and COVID and everything, it's been everywhere. But right now, he's on the top line with Chris Letang. So it's going to make a difference with what Letang can do. We have 2 offensive guys on the back end. That's going to be huge. Now, when it comes to the other half of that trade, like I mentioned, he came over in a trade. Who did he come over in a trade for? Patrick Hornqvist. And tonight will be Patrick Hornqvist's first game back in Pittsburgh since that trade prior to last season. Obviously, he played all of last year with the Florida Panthers, but due to the COVID restrictions, they didn't play each other. And they certainly didn't play in Pittsburgh. So the first time Hornqvist is back in Pittsburgh, I'm sure at the first commercial break, we will see a very nice video package in PPG Paints Arena. I'm surprised he isn't getting the start, to be completely honest. I got to double check if he's even in the lineup. I would doubt that he'd be taken out. But puck is down. As Steve Mears, friend of the show, says, puck is down, stick is down, and hockey is being played in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's going to be, like I said, really fun game. And we already have basically a de facto 2-on-1 to start the game. So me saying the Pittsburgh Penguins defense is going to get better in the first 10 seconds, at least, not great signs for that. And I don't even have to check my phone. There's Patrick Hornqvist in his office, already getting in the face of Brock McGinn and Tristan Jarry, doing what he does best. If anybody thought he was going to take it easy on his former team, you clearly have never seen Patrick Hornqvist play hockey. So I wouldn't doubt he scores a goal here at some point in this game. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But as the game is starting, I want to also remind everybody, please drop a like there in the stream. And also let us know, what do you think the final score of this game is going to be? Because it's not going to finish 0-0. I'll promise you that. It won't finish 0-0. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But at the same time, let me know. What do you think? Do you think it's going to go over 6 goals in the total? Do you think the Florida Panthers are going to roll? Which is what the records would indicate. So we will see what happens with all that. Like I said, leave a comment. Let us know what you think the final score is going to be. Also, who do you think is going to score the first goal? If you don't want to comment about what this final score is going to be, who do you think is going to light the lamp first for either team? Doesn't have to be one specifically. Somebody else joining the stream there, thank you for joining the stream and welcome. Let us know, who do you like in this game? Do you think the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Florida Panthers? Mad Mike Sports and Entertainment chiming in again. He says 6-3 Pittsburgh. I mean, hey, you see the jersey I have on, you see the jersey behind me. I wouldn't hate seeing Pittsburgh win 6-3, Mad Mike. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. 6 goals for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That would be something that we saw early in the season. Lately, 6 goals have been hard to come by. But they've been playing well. Matty D says 4-2 Penguins. That would get me a push on DraftKings, Matty. Can we make it 4-3 so I get a couple of bucks off tonight's game on DraftKings? 4-2. I like that, though. I like it. Hornqvist getting his revenge. I can see it. I can see it. And on the stream I'm looking at right now, they're talking about Evgeny Malkin. Obviously has not played yet, coming off of a torn knee ligament. 3 of them or 2 of them, whatever. But he's starting to skate with the team, so that'll be welcome for the Pittsburgh Penguins, seeing him returning to the lineup. That'll definitely help. And Isha still chiming in. Florida 6-0. Okay. I mean, you can't even give me 6-1, Ish. You're going to say 6-0? All right. I mean, honestly, realistic. I'm not going to say unrealistic. I mean, the Florida Panthers are 10-2-1. So I'm not gonna force the issue on that. I think maybe. Oh, Mad Mike, salt of the earth, man. Welcome to the Tip of the Iceberg fandom. He said, just follow Tip of the Iceberg on Twitter. I truly appreciate it. And now look at that. As I look to my right, you're right there on my screen on my phone. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. And Matty D, you can do 4-3. I appreciate that as well. I appreciate that. My wallet specifically appreciates that. So for a little bit of back and forth, the Penguins haven't really gotten any shots off. Tristan Jarry's had to save a couple of opportunities on the other end. But I look at this game, and when I watch the Pittsburgh Penguins play, mainly because I grew up watching them, but man, do I love the black and gold jerseys. I really do. But Florida, on the other hand, it's weird, because a lot of people really didn't like this Florida rebrand. I think it's worked out. So I like this. And, a great opportunity there. I don't know who that was in front, but a great tip on, and Tristan Jarry able to make the save there. But we have more comments coming in, which thank you to everybody for tuning into this stream. I appreciate it. We'll be here the entire way through the game. And you know what? I'm going to do a little post game as well. We were going to have a second stream. He had to push it back, but I'm sure we will have plenty of streams to go later on in this week and as the season progresses. Let's see. We see somebody saying, I am a pessimist fan who expects nothing good out of the Pens this season. I'd appreciate good things, but I won't expect them because I'm not going to have it thrown back at me. That is a great way to view this. And I hope I don't butcher your name on here, but is it Hikaru K? Let me know if I butchered it, and if I did, I apologize. But you know what? At the same time, I kind of agree. The way we came into this season, and by we, I mean the Pittsburgh Penguins. I got to stop doing that. I hate doing that. But the way the Pittsburgh Penguins came into this season, you don't have Evgeny Malkin for at least 2 months. That was the wording we were told. Sidney Crosby gets wrist surgery, misses the first 6 or 7 games. I can't even remember. Plays in 1, does not play well, and now he's out on the COVID list. Plus, you have all these other players with the COVID issues. You have players that have come back that are still saying that, hey, I'm still dealing with this. Zach Aston-Reese said that it was 6 weeks after he tested positive, and he was still feeling winded, still feeling not great. So, yeah, maybe expectations should be lowered a little bit in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's hard to get much lower than dead last place in the Metropolitan Division, which is where they currently reside. And as I say that, Jeff Carter is going to the penalty box for what I believe is a hooking on Jonathan Huberdeau, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's just a hustle play by Huberdeau and bad stick positioning by Jeff Carter. You hate to see it, but that's what happens. So, Mad Mike says, be advised, I am a huge, I believe that's supposed to say softy. I'm kind of going to be freaking out about 4 hours because Taylor's going to be releasing another re-record of one of her albums. Okay. Hey, listen, I don't hate it. I'm guessing, Swifty, not softy. So a huge Taylor Swift fan. Nothing wrong with that. My brother-in-law, if you hear Shake It Off, then, oh my goodness, he's going to go off. Let me, 1 second, let me pull something up here. Looking for a little bit of something. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out this. All right, there we go. And got something special for everybody, obviously. There it is. It is the flash score of this game. Completely forgot to bring that up. I've just been talking everybody's ear off. Thank you to Josh for reminding me because I am, not great at remembering things when I start talking. I just keep blabbering on and on. But there obviously is all the stats, all the scores. Penguins currently killing the first penalty of the game. But looking everywhere else, again, nothing wrong with liking Taylor Swift. I don't mind Taylor Swift. I like Ed Sheeran. I really like Ed Sheeran. And apparently that's a controversial thing. So I have no issues with Taylor Swift either. So you don't hear anything from me. Definitely not. Oh, Patrick Hornfist with a great opportunity right out in front. But Tristan Jarry, again, those pads are working. Obviously, everybody said the issue with Tristan Jarry has been the glove side. Nothing wrong with his pads. Nothing wrong down low. He's pretty good at keeping those pucks out. So, obviously, still killing the penalty. 40 seconds remaining there. And looking down at some of these things in the comment section. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for engaging in the comment section. And obviously also, thank you. If you subscribe, thank you so much. If you don't subscribe, but you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button because we have watch-alongs like this almost every single night of the NHL regular season with great hosts. I know Neil Villapiano does it. Obviously, Isha and Dylan are always on here, kicking it back in the really, really nice THPN studio, which I'd like to get a visit there. I mean, I'd like to go to Nanaimo, British Columbia anyway. Is it Nanaimo? I know you guys talk about Nanaimo all the time, but I don't know if that's exactly where the office is or not. But I guess that's a question for Isha that he can answer in the comments section. Another shot there, missed just wide, and the Penguins have killed off that first penalty. Anton Lundell's on the ice. Like I said, somebody that Jesse Marshall, Pittsburgh Penguins writer, really liked, and now he's playing for the enemy. And we'll see what happens with that. Brian Rust on the hunt there. But some of the other stuff that we're talking about here is contact THPN saying, who is the Penguins' unsung hero this far? It's really been hard to kind of pin down because the lineup has been so different. If you want to go straight with the scoring route, I think Danton Heinen has been a really good surprise for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was leading the team at least prior to last game in points, which is surprising, yes. But even more surprising is the fact that their big goal scorers early, Jake Gensel, Kasperi Kapanen, were not really doing anything. Now, Kapanen had a hat trick against the Minnesota Wild last weekend. That got him on the score sheet. The last 3 games, Jake Gensel has really started to come into his own, which is really good to see, especially if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, because you need somebody like that to get going. Obviously, you need Sidney Crosby back, but that can't be the only addition to this offense. So if I'm saying unsung hero, honestly, Marcus Pettersson's had a great season, but honestly, it's Tristan Jarry. He's had a pretty good season. He's had a couple of bad games, but overall, he has been pretty stellar when the Penguins' defense has been in flux. There hasn't been a lot of help in front of him. Oh, Kasperi Kapanen rings the shot off the post. If you watch the game on Tuesday, you also saw him hit the post in Chicago. So just bad puck luck continues for Kasperi Kapanen. really close, really, really close there to being the opener in the game, just 8 minutes in there. Unsung hero, we see Drew O'Connor from Hikaru. We've seen DOC, also from Nick Horwat. Somebody saying Jeff Carter, that's Kate jumping back in. Did you change your Avi because I mentioned it? That's great. I love that. If so, I appreciate that so much. Now, we also talked about this previously. Hikaru saying Jari needs to be better in the shootout. Yes, he does. It'd be nice if the shootout was just not a thing, but definitely he needs to be better in the shootout. I mean, he needs to save more than one every time we go in. So I don't really know if Kapanen's better than Kaprizov. I don't know. I mean, we're not paying him as much. That helps. But at the same time, I think I'd like Kirill Kaprizov on my team. I would appreciate that. Thanks, Isha. And also Mad Mike saying Gensel's been the hero. Last 3 games, like I mentioned, he has been on it. You've seen the confidence, juggling the puck, sending great passes to Chris Letang, a couple great passes to Jeff Carter in the last game. So definitely he's gotten a lot better. But
could you say that again? My apologies.
Oh, sorry, my watch is starting to talk back to me. Yee. And also Isha saying that we can have him and his overpaid ass. Now, I don't know if you've looked at the Pittsburgh Penguins cap friendly, but we don't have the room for him, unfortunately. But checking in on the game here, just about 10 minutes remain in the first period. Still no score. It seems like it's been pretty back and forth so far. Not a lot of grade A chances, but both goaltenders being solid. The one thing that I've seen a lot of so far in this game for Tristan Jarry, especially because it seems like he's gotten a little bit more of the workload. Oh, that puck bounced right over the net. Could have bounced easily off of Bobrovsky's head because he is a very short goaltender in there, small statured. But one thing that I have seen thus far from Tristan Jarry in this game, really good positioning. And that is something that when you see Jarry and when you see that he's on his game, he's really good at his positioning. And he's also really confident going out and playing the puck. So you hope that that's a sign of good things here for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight against the Florida Panthers. Again, we are live watch along right now on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. If you haven't already, give us a subscribe because we will have watch alongs like this almost every single night of the NHL regular season with different hosts, Neil Villapiano, Isha, Dylan, trying to think. Sorry, my brain is just not working. I worked an 8-hour shift, ran home, set all this up for the first time. So I'm trying to catch up mentally. And I'm just happy right now. I'm having a great time talking to everybody here. And I'm having a great time watching the Pittsburgh Penguins. But right now, the shots on goal sit at 8-2 for the Florida Panthers. I guess there must be a lot of block shots, which is probably right to the right of me. I haven't even been looking right now. 2 block shots for the Florida Panthers. That's it. It feels like the Penguins have gotten more chances. But again, might be a little biased looking at it. That might be a reason there. But for the most part, obviously, the Florida Panthers had 1 power play already. That's about it. And since then, they've kind of controlled the puck a little bit more since I said it was even. So that's just about how it goes. Jerome and Ryan, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Isha, for reminding me. My brain, like I said, is basically soup. And that's the beginning of what should be a 3-hour live stream here. We're going to have a lot of fun. Definitely jump in the comments if you haven't already. Say hi. Tell us what your final score prediction is, because right now it is still scoreless with just under 8 minutes remaining in the first period of play. I want to go back and touch upon Patrick Hornqvist because he meant so much to the city of Pittsburgh. He was a guy that in the locker room was one of the biggest leaders for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions teams. So seeing him leave on the terms that he left, now none of us know exactly how that went, but he did not want to get traded. I mean, you could do a lot worse than getting traded to the Florida coast down there in Sunrise, Florida, and playing with what is now the top team in the NHL. But when he left, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I was so mad. I was upset. Because, a year prior, and everybody that has listened to the Tip of the Iceberg, in season 1 of that show, I was calling for him to be traded because I didn't think he had it. And yes, he has since shoved it up my hoop, as Biz Nasty likes to say. And I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. So when you talk about, iconic line mates for Sidney Crosby, because he's had, obviously you had Jerome Iginla for a little while. You had, I believe, Jussi Jokinen played on that line. But when you talk about the players that have really succeeded and thrived over time, there's obviously Chris Kunitz, probably number one guy. The only guy who has a gold medal is probably because he played with Sidney Crosby. And as I'm talking about this, first commercial break, looking up and seeing, thank you, Patrick Hornqvist. There's the video montage we all expected. Good ovation from the crowd at PPG Paints Arena. You love to see it because, like I mentioned earlier, he meant so much to this team. He meant so much to this city. And he was a huge part of the back-to-back Stanley Cups. Obviously, he scored the empty net goal in one of them, and he also scored the game-winning goal in game number 6. The only goal, well, the second to only goal. I think, who was it? Carl Hagelin scored the empty netter in that one. But yes, the exit I'm referring to, as Isha would like to remind me, says duffel bag out the window. Amazing. Now, like I said, it is Patrick Hornqvist's revenge game. As some of you said in the comments, he probably scores a goal. Probably good money on that. That's probably good money on that. Kate Barry in the comments also having some love for Patrick Hornqvist. But his departure obviously led the way for the Penguins to bring in Mike Matheson, which, hey, wasn't Ron Hextall's trade. So, oh well. But luckily, he landed on his feet down there in Florida. He had a really good start to the season last year. He scored a couple goals already on the season this year. And he has the alternate captain on. So obviously they like him down there in the locker room. He's a big part of that team. If the Penguins aren't going to win a Stanley Cup, I wouldn't mind the Florida Panthers winning. See Patrick Hornqvist win another one. Hi, Andrew. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. We're watching Penguins, Panthers. Do you have a score prediction? If you have a score prediction, the best place to do and drop it would be in the comments right there. I don't know what Sergei Bobrovsky was doing, but he was way out of his net right there. He was way out of his net. Didn't hurt him, though. Didn't hurt him. So, how about me? That's right. I haven't given a score prediction. I was just trying to get everybody else's so I could get more information what everybody else thinks. He says Pens 4-2. Okay, I've seen Pens 4-2 a couple times. Now, I'm looking at this. I think the Panthers are going to score 3 goals. I'll say the Penguins win by a score of 5-3 with an empty netter. They finally, for the first time this season, it seems, they will finally close out a game the correct way and score an empty net goal. Great opportunity and a goal there by Teddy Bluger. I believe the assist was to Chris Letang, but a beautiful pass, and all he had to do was not miss the net right there. Teddy Bluger with the opener, and the Penguins take a 1-0 lead here with 6:23 remaining in the first period. I love Teddy Bluger. How can you not love Teddy Bluger? He was the captain of the Latvian qualifying team. He's going to be at the Olympics, people. And I was correct. That is Chris Letang with an absolutely gorgeous feed. And I agree, Mike. Cue Party Hard. Cue it up. It is not whatever the song they changed it to. I don't even know. I'm not going to make the noise because it's an annoying noise. But definitely, cue up Party Hard. It's great. Mankato boy. I know he played... I don't remember if he played in Mankato or not. I know he played at that... Why can't I think of it? Wherever Crosby played with Jack Johnson. Oh, well. It's in Minnesota. We got to get Hoppy on here. I didn't even look at this. And Isha agrees. We got to get Hoppy on here. I was talking crap on Mike Matheson a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Not enough to make me look bad, right? He gets a secondary assist on that goal. So he's already on the score sheet. Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. looking at this right now, it looks like the Penguins out there, fourth line out there against the Florida Panthers, I believe, first line. Yep, that's Sasha Barkov dancing Mike Matheson. And once again, that's what you get. Shattuck St. Mary's, thank you, Hikaru. I was thinking SSM, but I couldn't think of what it was. Slap shot there, saved by Jari as well. So you look at this, I mean, it's kind of the tale of hockey. And you get Florida the entirety of this period, basically. And they've been dominating. And you have Tristan Jarry standing tall, and then you just one good play the other way. And now the Florida Panthers are behind the 8 ball here. Mad Mike, they did get rid of Party Hard for, I believe it was a full season in 2019-20, which wasn't a full season, obviously. They changed it to, why can't I think of the song? If you're a Penguins fan and you remember what they changed it to, definitely drop it in the comments. Like I said, my brain is a little bit mush, so I can't remember that. And I'm not great with music to begin with, unless it's classic rock. Jump Around. That's what they changed it to. They changed it to Jump Around for a little bit. Fans were obviously not pleased. And then they went back to Party Hard. Yeah, yes. Yes, House of Pain. Jump Around. It was bad. It was really bad. There you go, Horwat. I knew you would know. He's a music fanatic when it comes to the Tip of the Iceberg podcast, I should say. But it was bad. Nobody liked it. They didn't do well with it. They really didn't. So luckily, that's changed up now. But looking at this game so far, let me pull up the stats. Like I said, you're seeing it. I got to pull it up a little bit more. The shots have kind of evened out now. 10-7 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Like I said, Penguins defense has given up a lot of shots lately, partially because they've been missing a lot of guys. Now, they do get Pettersson and Ruedel back tonight, but it's their first night back off of COVID. These guys are gonna be a little tired, no? So at the same time, a good job so far by Tristan Jarry. Got to give it to him. And most points earned in the first 11 games of the season. That's the graphic up on AT&T Sportsnet. Florida Panthers tied all time with the 2006-2007 Sabres and the 1994-95 Penguins. I don't remember that Penguins team for being notoriously good at anything. 94-95. I mean, obviously it's the 90s. They had plenty of stars. Turnover there by, I believe, Matheson again. So yeah, like I said, Matheson gets the second apple. Now that's twice that. Once he got danced, and second time he turns the puck over. So it's all in the Mike Matheson experience. Gotta love it. Yes, Mad Mike. Party Hard is back. Luckily, thankfully, Party Hard is back. Not since I've gone back to a game, but it is back. So if you go to a game, obviously, you'll get a better experience now. Jari, Binnington, or Fleury for Canada's starting goaltender. JJD TV commented that. Looking at that, none of them? I know before last season, everybody was saying Carter Hart, but clearly that's done too. I would say none of them. I don't really know who else Canada has goaltending-wise, but does it really matter? I would say of those three, probably Binnington. I mean, you look at the season that Marc-Andre Fleury has had so far, doesn't instill confidence. Now, his team's going to be obviously much better if we want to get into if you want to get into everything. But looking down here at everything else in the comments section. Yes, Andrew, I do have the game on another screen in front of me, but it looks probably like I'm looking straight at the screen. I've missed a couple of things. There's just a lot of comments here, which I appreciate. I really do appreciate. I don't know if Carey Price would be the guy. I really don't. You just don't know where he's at right now. Obviously, if he comes back and he says that he's good to go, you would think that he's at least going to be on the team. But at the same time, it's the same thing with Jack Eichel. Yeah, he should be good to go. The surgery should have been done and the return might be well and good, but do you really want Jack Eichel's first couple of games back to be in the Olympics? I mean, I know he would, but you just never know what's going to happen there. So, sorry about that. If I missed that, Andrew, I'm very sorry. I'm bouncing between a couple different things here, between the game and stuff. But who is my favorite Pens player? Well, if you asked me a couple years ago, it would be Carl Hagelin. I do actually have a Carl Hagelin jersey. I just enjoyed the way he played. Didn't score a lot of goals, but he was fast. He killed penalties, and he had that awesome flow. And minus the actual flow, because I have awful hair, kind of the way that I played when I played hockey growing up. It couldn't score very much, but 2-on-1 here, and it's tied up just like that. I look up, and there's a 2-on-1. Florida Panthers tie the game up. That's 2 goals. So for my over 6, we're getting there. We're on pace. And Frank Vatrano, I believe either him or Anton Lundell scored. But my favorite player now, probably actually Jake Gensel. I mean, this is a Jake Gensel jersey that I have on now. I just really enjoy watching him play the game whenever he's on fire. And that's what he has been the last couple of games. So that is Frank Vatrano. Assist to Anton Lundell. So I was talking about Lundell a little bit. And there he is with a nice primary apple on a pass to Frankie Vatrano. And it's tied up at 1 with 3:05 remaining in the first period here. So, like my dog, you said, does your dog have really, I mean, obviously I see the dog in the Abby. Nice long hair. It's a long-haired, it looks like a lab from here. So, definitely. Big dog person. I have 2 cats, but mainly because I live in an apartment. But I love dogs too. So, I didn't even know anybody recognized the name Jason Megna anymore. Contact THPN saying Jason Megna, the Canucks legend. I might need to take a minute. I mean, I'm not going to go to a break yet because there's 2 minutes left in the period, but I'm going to need to take a minute after seeing that name come up in the comments. That's what it came off of. Why isn't it a Jason Megna jersey? I didn't snatch them up before they were gone. You know, Jason Megna, Kevin Porter, legends for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, Contact THPN says, I love Megna. Mad Mike on it saying when Vatrano ties it in the comments there as well. So, with about 2 minutes left, looking at the stats, it's pretty even on both sides. Shots are 11-8 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Block shots now 4-1. I mean, the Penguins don't really block a lot of shots. They don't. They don't get in front very, very often. So, with about 2 minutes left in this first period, my takeaway so far, Florida is just that good. I mean, clearly, 10-2-1, you don't get to that point without being that good. But the Pittsburgh Penguins, once again, are playing Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. I mean, they're playing Mike Sullivan hockey. That's the best way to put it, really. And Hikaru reminding everyone, he got Sid's line in Pittsburgh. He did. You're right. He did. Now, also, Evan Rodriguez there's been some players that have gotten on his line. Definitely not deserving of it. Jason Megna, though, I was excited for Jason Megna when he came up. I was excited for Jason Megna. I was excited back in, 2012 or 13 when Brian Gibbons was lighting it up for the Pittsburgh Penguins. All amazing names. All amazing names. All amazing players, really. I mean, not when it comes to skill, but when it comes to just being there. Yes. Andrew throwing in his favorite, Chris Letang. Hey, not a bad decision right there. When we're talking about flow, is there one better in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins than Chris Letang? I would venture a guess no. Was I excited? Hikaru saying, was I excited for Luca Caputi or Eric Tangradi? I would say I was probably more excited that Eric Tangradi played in the Robert Morris celebrity hockey game than I was when he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And if you don't know what that was, obviously the whole Robert Morris losing its hockey program last year, they did a celebrity hockey game where a lot of former Penguins played, Tyler Kennedy, Phil Bourque, and Eric Tangradi. I believe he's a real estate agent now, if I'm not incorrect. And Luca Caputi, I mean, hey, Can't fault him. It's like Rob Klinkhammer. Just all great names. Kate Berry saying, Marcus for the Pens have gone to the locker room. I believe that's probably Pettersson. In his first game back, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a conditioning thing. Hopefully not anything serious. And as I say that, Aaron Ekblad for holding the stick will be in the penalty box for 2 minutes here. So we're going to end the period on a power play. The Penguins' power play has been inept. So we'll see if they can do something here. Trying to set it up. And it is poked away. Yeah, you don't see that very much, Ben Mike. You don't see holding the stick very much. You might get a holding call, but not very often do you see that. So they'll call a holding the stick, but whenever a stick goes up into somebody's visor, that's not a penalty. Great save there by Bobrovsky on a cross-ice pass. And the Penguins' power play doing exactly what it is. Okay, Hikaru brings up a really good point here. I think it's maybe time. I butchered that. But it's time to give Riikola an extended series of games to see what we have in him. I would like to agree. I really would, because I'm a fan of Juuso Riikola. I really enjoyed when he came onto the scene, the fact that he is not the biggest guy, but he is very physical. But at the same exact time, some of the defensive plays, I understand why Mike Sullivan gets a little agitated. And looking at this season for the Pittsburgh Penguins, you've basically lost the first 15%. Opportunity here for Jeff Carter, takes it in. Oh, he just can't get the wraparound. So close. But back to Riikola really quickly before the period ends here. Just over a minute remaining. And the Penguins have just under a minute remaining on their first power play of the evening. But thinking about Juuso Riikola, the issue with that is, honestly, they're not going to take, again, Jeff Carter, a great opportunity. How does that not go in? Like I said, Vezina caliber from Sergei Bobrovsky thus far into the season, and that continues tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Eventually, I'll get this takeout about Juuso Riikola. But you look at the defense, where do you slot him in? Obviously, when all healthy, which is just a farce if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, where do you slot him in? You have Dumoulin, Letang, okay. You have Pettersson, Marino, okay. You have Ruhwedel, Riikola? I mean, they're not going to take Matheson out, so is it Matheson, Riikola? That scares me defensively. That really scares me defensively. I'd like to see him get a chance. And honestly, I was very surprised when the Penguins re-signed him in the first place because they haven't used him. They haven't given him a shot. I was surprised that he wanted to come back. I thought he might want to go somewhere else, get another opportunity, somewhere that has a little bit less depth. Because obviously you also have P.O. Joseph, who eventually is probably at some point this season is going to become an NHL regular. If not, then it's probably going to be a little bit of a disappointment there. And a turnover at the blue line, and the Panthers continue to kill it. Just watching time tick down here, just about 30 seconds left in the first period. As soon as we go to the end of the first period, I am going to take a quick break. But don't worry, I will be back for the second period, actually the first intermission, the entire second period, and the rest of the game. And even some post-game. Why not? But the Pittsburgh Penguins, again, their power play is still bad. It is really bad. Contact THPN saying, POJ is sick. His brother is a two-time Cup champion. Well, yes. Yeah, I really like him. And there's a story on our episode when we had Michelle Crecchiolo, who is, if you don't know, writer for the Pittsburgh Penguins, also runs the Pens Inside Scoop Twitter page. When we had her on the podcast, The Tip of the Iceberg, she told us a story about last year. I believe it was Drew O'Connor. Came up, was not expecting to make the team, and he did make it prematurely last year. Went on to a team charter flight because they were going on the road. He didn't have a suit. Drew O'Connor didn't have a suit. Wasn't ready. POJ looked at him and he said, you know what? I got you. Gives him one of his suits. Salt of the earth guy. You've only heard great stories about Pierre-Olivier Joseph. So hopefully he will come up at some point. Slap shot there to end the period. And that does it. Oh, they're exchanging pleasantries a little bit, getting a little gritty here at the end of the first period, which you usually don't see from these two teams. But between POJ's abilities and where the Penguins are defensively, I would expect to see him up here at some point. But that does it for the end of the first period of play in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1-1 is the score. Shots on goal. Penguins come out on top 13-12. Block shot 6-1 in favor of the Florida Panthers. And both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. I am going to go to a quick break, but before that, I'm going to answer this question because I really like it. So thank you, Hikaru, for sending this in. Who's more likely to get called up this season, Poulin or Legare? Honestly, I'd be surprised if either did, because I think that the brass, Hextall, Burke, I think they want to see what they can do in the AHL. This is their first time playing professional hockey. And so far, it's been pretty good. I mean, the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton team is really good in the AHL. And if you know Richard Blosser on the Hockey Podcast Network, he obviously covers the Hershey Bears, but he also watches his fair share of Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins games. And, watching that team, it's pretty fun this year. Mainly because we see Poulin, Legare, Valtteri Puustinen has been on it all season long for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But if I'm answering this question here, who's more likely? I would say probably Sam Poulin. I think Nathan Legare, in the eyes of the Pittsburgh Penguins front office, took a step back last season down in the QMJHL. I think Poulin got a lot. I think both players got a lot faster. I mean, that's what Ron Hextall told us. He said, what we've seen is these guys have gotten their foot speed up, which was one of the big knocks on both of them. So, do I think it's going to be Poulin or Legare? I would think it's probably going to be Legare if either of them. I truly don't think that either are going to come up. I'd like to see them, but I just don't think they're going to. And if one of them is, I'll go with Legare. That's what I'll stick with. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Nathan Legare. Kate Berry with a great reminder. Obviously, happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thanks to all that have served. Part of the reason why I'm so tired is because I work at a restaurant, and obviously, when you work at a restaurant on Veterans Day, you give great discounts for veterans. So it was packed all day, which my wallet is happy. My brain and my back right now are not, but luckily I'm sitting down now. Richard is a beauty. Yes, he is. Yes, he definitely is. And also from Isha saying, Iowa, San Diego, and Wilkes have unreal AHL teams. It's been a couple of years for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, so hopefully they can continue that as well. But like I said, I'm going to take a quick break, get a couple drinks of water, and then I'll be back for my first intermission report and for the rest of this game between the Florida Panthers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1-1 here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Again, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because this is a great community that we've already seen. I mean, this is the first time I've done it. And the community that I've seen in the comments section so far, salt of the earth. I love all of you. Thank you. I'll be right back in a second. Welcome back here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. My name is Nick Berlansky. I host the Tip of the Iceberg podcast as well as the Hockey Hotbed for the Hockey Podcast Network. I have new episodes. If you like to hear my voice, one, you might be a little crazy. You might, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but if you like hearing my voice, you might be a tad crazy. But I have new episodes coming out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I got to work something out for Wednesday. I mean, I can't just take that off. Like, really? So, obviously, this game has been entertaining thus far. Low scoring, 1-1 game, but we're right on track for that over 6. Like I said at the outset of this show, at DraftKings, our key sponsor, make sure you use promo code THPN at sign up for great odds and opportunities. The play that I have tonight, over 6 goals. I didn't take a side in this one. We're all crazy because we love your voice. Well, thank you. I don't know who's running the Contact THPN tonight. If it's Isha, then he's pulling double duty. If it's Dylan, then welcome to the stream, Dylan. If it's somebody else, then let me know who's listening, who's watching. Because that person, a little crazy. But the only action I have on this game is over 6. So, 2 in the first period, kind of along the lines here. Not bad. I didn't take a side in this one, but if you wanted to take a side, the Panthers were minus 125 favorites. The Penguins were plus 105. So if you like the Penguins in this game, which a lot of people, the great followers of the Hockey Podcast Network, they're on the side of the Penguins. You get plus money, plus 105. So great odds and opportunities all the time at DraftKings. Also, Isha with a great reminder. We don't want to forget about our fine folks to the north, at least the north of me. Remembrance Day in Canada. So, yes, we are all very thankful for everybody that serves for any country. You put your flag above yourself, and that's something that not a lot of us, have the confidence, have the will to do. So we thank you for doing stuff that we, others, can't do. But looking at this game, so far, it's been pretty entertaining on the outset. 2 goals scored, 1 for the Pittsburgh Penguins by Teddy Bluger and 1 for the Florida Panthers from Frankie Vetrano. 2 beautiful passes, 1 on either end of those by Chris Letang and Anton Lundell. When you're saying that you want to see good hockey, those goals, 2-on-1s, or just, Chris Letang below the net, which it never ceases to amaze me what he does. It really doesn't. The guy is doing this in now, his 15th, 16th NHL season? Has COVID or had COVID. He better not still have COVID. We'd have an issue there. He had COVID this year, already living with a hole in his heart. For those of you who didn't know that, it's something that he's been living with his entire life. Had a stroke several years back, and he's still playing 28, 29 minutes a game. Horwat and I on the tip of the iceberg, we talked about a couple episodes ago. Yeah, Chris Letang's coming back. Do you think the coaching staff's going to cut him some slack because he's coming off of a extended COVID absence? Nah. Played 29 minutes that game. I don't understand it. The guy's motor is just insane. Okay, ask and ye shall receive, Isha. Main takeaways from the first period of play. The same thing that we've kind of seen all season long is the Pittsburgh Penguins are good at sticking with teams that are better than them. Because on the ice right now and on paper, the Florida Panthers should be stomping the Pittsburgh Penguins. But it's a tie score at 1-1. The Penguins were able to turn around the second half. It's kind of what you see, picture perfect from most hockey games at this point, which I know it's kind of like a cop-out, and I apologize, but you have one team dominant the first 10 minutes, and then the other team scores them like their first chance. And then it evened out towards the end of the period. So I liked what I saw there. Something else that I'm really liking is the breakout from the Florida Panthers. They're showing it right now on AT&T Sportsnet, but what I really like is the way that they have not activated their defenseman, which, again, I love that people use that term, activated their defenseman. It sounds way cooler than it actually is. It's just a guy pinching. But the way that the Florida Panthers have been able to play so far this game, I haven't seen a lot of Panthers hockey so far this season, but if this is the way they've played, it makes sense as to why they're 10-2-1. The Penguins defense is not sharp by any meaning of the word, but the Florida Panthers are making pretty easy work of at least entering the zone. I've liked the way that that the Panthers have been able to get in behind the Penguins defense, especially if you look at early on in that first period, that's when it was really working. The Penguins were able to get their forecheck going a little bit more towards the second half, which was nice. But at the same time, they really need to protect right at that blue line. You hope that they would step up a little bit more into the play and stop the Panthers at the blue line. That's something that they haven't done a lot this season. When I'm saying the Pittsburgh Penguins defense. And if they continue to not do that, you're going to see a lot more opportunities in the second period and the third period for the Florida Panthers. So, Hikaru saying, Tang might be one of the most underrated players, period. Okay, I agree with that. I think if you ask a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins fans, it's going to be 50-50 because that's how everything is with Chris Letang. Kate is agreeing there. And also Isha saying, I think he is now, post all of his injuries. He wasn't 6 or 7 years ago. He was a little immature. It took him a little while to mature because now what you see is, he is still going to go on the offensive. But at the same time, he's a lot more defensively responsible. And you've seen that his analytics have gotten a lot better the last couple of years. And if you're not into analytics, I mean, it's all right. Whatever you need. I'm kind of like half analytics, half eye test because I don't fully understand it yet. Definitely helps whenever I see Jay Fresh Hockey and Danny Shirey Irving post all their stuff. But back to takeaways from that first period of play. Jeff Carter is on one tonight. Every time I look up, Jeff Carter is in the offensive zone, stick handling very well, and also getting Sergei Bobrovsky off his angle. I don't know what it is about Carter tonight, but every time he goes in on Bobrovsky, he kind of slides out of the net a little bit. He kind of gets overzealous. We saw Carter almost get a wraparound, but just not be able to get the whole way around there. We also saw an opportunity where he kind of deked through the defense and send a nice pass over to his line mate. I believe that was Gensel at that moment in time. But, we're at a point right now in the first intermission where this game is tied. You've seen both teams be able to kind of control the pace of play at certain moments. If I'm going to look at it, I would say probably the Panthers controlled because they controlled most of the first period. There was about a 5-minute, 6-minute stretch where the Pittsburgh Penguins were able to push back. But at the same time, when I'm looking at the outset of this game and what the Penguins need to do and what the Panthers need to do, the Panthers just need to keep on doing what they're doing. It's plain and simple. They're playing a way that if the Penguins mess up, and Mike Matheson is already making a lot of turnovers, the Penguins mess up, the Panthers are in position to take advantage almost every single time. On the other end, the Penguins, again, the issue that they've had this entire season, the issue that they're going to continue to have all season long because they just don't have the players for it, is protecting the front of the net. They have not been good at that this year. They've not been, they don't have the guys. Marcus Pettersson's not knocking anybody out of the front of the net. Neither is John Marino. Chad Ruhwedel, probably not. Mike Matheson and Chris Letang, maybe. But Chris Letang doesn't like to do that very much, and Mike Matheson doesn't like to play defense. So what they need to do is protect the front of the net. Tristan Jarry has been pretty good, though, so far. A couple of really good opportunities in the first period there for the Florida Panthers, but Jarry was able to stand tall. So if the Penguins are able to shut down the front of the net, which, again, let's not forget who plays on the other team. That's Patrick Hornqvist. Yeah, that's where he's going to be. If he gets a little bit more ice time, that's exactly where he's going to be. If you're just joining the stream right now, make sure you drop a like. And if you really, really like it, make sure you drop a subscribe because we have watch-alongs like this one almost every single night of the regular season. It's great. So I'm looking at this game right now, and the Panthers, I expected a little bit more in the first period. Obviously, they controlled the first 10 minutes of play. They had a couple opportunities, but I keep saying their record, 10-2-1. And I'm sitting there thinking, what are the last couple of games? Why are they not coming out with a little bit more fire? I thought they'd be a little chippier with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I honestly thought they would be, they outshot the Penguins vastly early. I think it was 8-2, like I said earlier. But at the same time, they're coming off of back-to-back losses for the first time this season, back-to-back regulation losses, the only two they've had. On Monday, they lost 4-3 to the New York Rangers. On Tuesday, they lost 7-3 to the New Jersey Devils. Now, we want this trend, if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan and you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, you want this trend of losing to the Metropolitan Division to continue, although it is a tough division to play in. It's probably going to be the best division in the league this year, one the Penguins are currently sitting in dead last of. But I look at this and I expected a little bit more from them. You have two teams that the last couple of games have not been great. I mean, like I said, Panthers 2-game losing streak. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. That's really bad. That is really bad. Like the last 2 they've lost in a shootout, mainly because Tristan Jarry probably couldn't stop a beach ball when it comes to a shootout. But at the same time, 5 of 6 after a 3-0-2 start. It's not a great stretch for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they really, really need to start. Like, they've got points, which is fine. And I get it. You don't have Crosby, you don't have Malkin, but stop making it. Like, I'm not making the excuses for them. Like, I don't think that's a good excuse. It's not. Because this team, without them, can still get points. We've seen it throughout their entire career. It's been 17 years. When one is out, the other performs well. When the other's out, the other performs well. They're both not, I mean, they're both out now, but you expect Kasperi Kapanen to do better. You expect Jake Gensel to do better. They're coming around now, but at the same time, you need more. They're getting points. They're getting standings points. You need wins. You need W's on that schedule. How did I know that during the course of this show, either Isha or Hoppy, I don't think Hoppy's watching, but if he was, I knew he'd bring it up because he always seems to bring it up whenever he talks to me. That's State of Hoppy from the Soda Pod, as well as Isha Jerome. He says, are you upset that you don't have Kalen Addison anymore? Yeah. The short answer is yes. The short answer is yes. I would love to have him and his mustache in the Penguins organization, mainly because having P.O. Joseph down there is great. Having P.O. Joseph and Kalen Addison would be that much better. But at the same time, I really love Jason Zucker. I know he hasn't had a really good stint here in Pittsburgh thus far, but I really enjoy watching him play hockey. Him and his, I can't remember the Looney Tune again, because it's, oh well, it's awful. Oh, yep. See, he had a comment earlier. See, I got to get better at looking at these comments. This is the first live stream that I've done watch along. So bear with me a little bit. Still trying to get used to it. But with the second period about to start, Kate Berry says, we need to start to win. Come on, boys. I mean, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they really need to. So Bobrovsky and Jarry both still in net, obviously. And the Penguins, we'll see how they do here in the second period against the Florida Panthers. Again, keys to the second period right now, if you're the Florida Panthers, continue that breakout. If you can continue that breakout, eventually you're going to break down Tristan Jarry. If you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, you need to get your forecheck going. They are the best whenever they shut down teams before they even get started. So again, big key right in this second period, watch the Penguins forecheck up against the breakout and the zone entries for the Florida Panthers. Because as of right now, that's where I think the most lopsided it is right now on the ice, because realistically, it's a close matchup between the two thus far. Second period is, false start. You got to hate that. You got to hate that. The Boys TV says, how is Sidney doing? Sidney Crosby is who I am imagining you're talking about. He will be back apparently with the team on Saturday. That's when he'll be supposed to be cleared from the COVID protocol. And it seems like he might be back either that night against the Ottawa Senators, a revenge game again, this time for Matt Murray, or if he doesn't come back Saturday, he could come back Sunday against the Washington Capitals. Oh, that would be a good watch along. If I had the time, I would do a watch along Pens Caps. Maybe at some point this season I'll do one. But Kate also saying Sid the Kid is doing all right. Thankfully he is. I mean, he's only played in one game this year. We said we were going to get, a look at what the post Crosby and Malkin era is. We have, and now I'm tired of it. For the Boys TV, what happened to him? He had wrist surgery a couple of weeks prior to the season, and that kept him out the first week or 2 or 3 of the season. He came back, played in one game, and now he's on the COVID protocol. So yeah, not a great start to the season for the Pittsburgh Penguins captain. Really for anybody. I mean, on the Pittsburgh Penguins, a lot of COVID going around in the Penguins locker room, although they are all vaccinated. So the second period, just about a minute in here, the Penguins have controlled the pace of play a little bit, but there's a turnover. Clogging up the middle of the ice. You always love to see it. Trying to think right now about who's going to score the next goal in this game. We had Teddy Bluger open the scoring, the Latvian legend. And then we had Frankie Vetrano. Good Italian boy, huh? Frankie Vetrano. He scored the even up goal for the Florida Panthers. As I'm looking at that screen right there, I'm realizing Mike Sullivan is not behind the bench again. I forgot to check on that before the game started. So Mike Sullivan's still not behind the bench. What's going on, Dylan? Dylan right here saying, Berlansky, thank you for joining the stream. Top 5 Latvian players. Ha! Well, I'm not going to try to Google that right now. I'm going to say there is 5, but I can remember right off the top of my head. You caught me. You caught me. So, Dylan, what is your score prediction? I mean, it's 1-1 right now. Isha, as he just said in the comments, said 6-0. We got a couple 4-2s in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think we got a 5-3 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, that was me. Ronald Kennens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Dylan, well, I mean, I don't know. But Barry also helped me out here saying Mike will be back on Sunday. You got to love it whenever they pick the best game to come back in. You know, he's just coming back against the Washington Capitals. Oh, okay. That's Kate says 5-2. Pittsburgh Penguins. That's right, because I said 5-3 right after that. So Kate has it at 5-2 right now for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Dylan says 4-3 Panthers. Oh, both Dylan and Isha. The execs are killing me. They're killing me. But watching this game right now, again, not much doing in the second period so far. Lots of turnovers, lots of congested center of the ice. The neutral zone is not easy to get through, which again, if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, that's great because that was my key. Stop the Panthers breakouts and stop their zone entries because it was a little too easy in that first period. Great opportunity there for Evan Rodriguez, but it jumps over his stick. I thought he had it, but just a little bit wide there, jumping over his stick. The boys asking, what is the score? Right now it is 1-1 between the Panthers and the Penguins. 17:05 and counting left in the second period of play. And like I said, a lot of congestion here in the neutral zone. Panthers get in the zone. I believe that's Vetrano. No, it's not. Sorry about that. It's hard to see. I wonder. I mean, it's probably easier in person. But watching on TV, just not easy to pick out numbers sometimes. Offsides there for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we have a stoppage. So, thinking about these two teams right now. Obviously, if you're the Florida Panthers, look at the division that they're in. You have the Boston Bruins, who altogether are a really good team. The question with them is the goaltending, you know. And realistically, and Kate, thank you. See, this is why I love having everybody in the comments, because they're reminding me of stuff that I just completely forget to put the score up. Oh my goodness. So, see, I'm going to get fired now. I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to be allowed to do another watch along because I keep forgetting to put the score up. But at the same time, looking at this game and looking at the Florida Panthers in their division, I didn't have them winning that division. I had the Tampa Bay Lightning winning that division just because, you know, it was an easy pick. It really was. So I do like what the Panthers have done, and I think they're a really good team. And right now they have a really good opportunity. I have no idea where the puck just went. Tristan Jarry's stick is halfway out of the zone. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure who's going to contend with them. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs are good. Looking at this opportunity for Carter Verhaeghe where he rings it off the post, had almost an entirely open net. Looking at that, and Jarry would not have gotten over. That would have been a goal. It would have been 2-1. And that, who is it again? Mike Matheson falling all over Tristan Jarry. When I say protect the front of the net, I do not mean fall on your own goaltender, guys. That is not what you want to see if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mike Matheson struggling tonight. I mean, who would have thought the one night that I'm doing a live watch along of the entire Pittsburgh Penguins Florida Panthers game that Mike Matheson's going to have one of his worst games of the season. Oh well, I mean that is exactly what happens there. Penguins looking in there and trying to get an opportunity on the offense. This line for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Brock McGinn, Teddy Bluger, and Zach Aston-Reese are a really good defensive line. A lot of people do not like them because they don't score very many goals. But at the same time, they're really good in their own zone, and they're really good at keeping the puck in the offensive zone. I got to double check. We said Marcus Pettersson went down the runway in the first. I have not actually noticed him out there. I'm going to check on Twitter, see if he's back there. If anybody else knows, definitely drop it in the comments below. Horwat right after me saying no Pettersson on the bench for the second. So he has not come back. He did leave in the first period. Has not returned. Opportunity there for Huberdeau, just glides off of his stick. So a lot of the same things. Now it's starting to open up a little bit more after the first 5 minutes. We're kind of a stalemate between these two teams. Great pass there by Brian Rust, a great pass, but I believe that was Jeff Carter again, just not able to put the finish through. And now the Panthers are on the counterattack. This game is starting to open up, which is what we all want to see. And that's going to go up and out. And is that a penalty? And Jeff Carter, for the second time tonight, looks like he's going to take a seat. Yep. Jeff Carter on, I believe it's going to be called delay of game. That's what it seemed like it was going to be called there. And it was not Carter who had the offensive opportunity. It was Jake Gensel. But Jeff Carter is going to be sitting, and the Florida Panthers get their second opportunity on the power play thanks to Jeff Carter on both the cords. And as each just said in the comments, definitely drop a subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know about crushing it, but I am definitely here. Definitely here trying to just bring a little bit of entertainment to your life. Make it a little bit more fun watching the Pens game. Like it's not already fun enough, right? Panthers setting up on the power play. Ekblad to Barkov to Ekblad. That looked way too easy. Luckily, a big save by Tristan Jarry. The Penguins, luckily, while their power play has been abysmal, their penalty kill has been number one in the league. Last time I checked, they were at 91.7%, which is ridiculous. That's never going to stay up there, and you're going to get a regression to the mean. But so far, the Penguins' penalty kill has been probably one of the most unsung parts. You know, you want an unsung hero? We talked about that a little earlier. It's probably the Penguins' penalty kill. It's not a one player. I understand that, but hey, it's pretty good. 92.6 success rate. That's the updated stat. Holy crap. It's getting a lot better. The Boys TV, welcome back. We love it. Keep coming back. We appreciate it. I love it. Hikaru says it's still weird to see Jeff Carter as a Penguin. Remembering hating him and Richards as Flyers. Yeah. It took a second. It was funny. I was talking with my co-host Nick Horwat, and he was like, not many people make the jump from Philly to Pittsburgh. He's like, Mark Friedman. Neither of us remembered about Jeff Carter. There was such a separation between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, though. I mean, he had all those years in LA. So I think that helps for a lot of people. I know it certainly helps for me. 12:54 remaining in the second period. 1-1 is the score. Just about a little over 20 seconds left for the Florida Panthers on the power play. Might have to go to bed. What time zone are you in? Right now it's 8:14. I guess it is a weekday. It is a weekday. It's a school night. If you go to bed, though, I do appreciate you tuning in for the time that you have. Definitely drop a like, drop a subscribe, and we will be back. I mean, I plan on doing another one of these at some point. But if it's not me, it's somebody else. There's going to be watch-alongs all season long here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, brought to you, as always, by DraftKings. Use promo code THPN when you visit the DraftKings Sportsbook app for great odds and opportunities. And you know what? If you don't have Sportsbook available in your state yet, which it's not available everywhere. But you can still do daily fantasy. It's a lot of fun. It's 9 there. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair, honestly. I'm going to go to bed as soon as this game is over. As soon as I'm off the stream, lights out. I'm excited. I have a very uncommon day off tomorrow. So, Isha says he still thinks of Carter as a king. Well, he's not. He's a Pittsburgh Penguin. He had a 4-goal performance last year. That's what we always kind of go back to. I mean, he was great the entire time after he got traded. There we go. A little bit of heat. That's what we need. We need a little bit of heat in this game. Friedman and Vetrano going at it in front of the net. But they're taking a quick break on the telecast. And you know what? I think that's a good time for me to take a quick break as well. I need to get a drink of water, but I'll be right back in just a couple of minutes with more Penguins, Florida Panthers. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, a watch-along of the Florida Panthers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And do you know what the score is? It's right there. It's 1-1. I remembered this time. See, I got it. I'm learning. That's what this is about. This is a learning experience here. If you haven't already, drop a like on this stream. Give us a comment. Let us know that you're here. And also, subscribe if you like, because if you like what I'm doing, you're going to love what everybody else is doing. This is just the beginning. We have watch-alongs almost every single night here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, brought to you by DraftKings as well. But we're having fun here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel right now. Pittsburgh Penguins. In this second period, I feel like it's starting to lean the way of the Florida Panthers, and not just because they have a power play. Make it 12-1 Penguins. If I had the power, I definitely would. If I had that power, I would also bring back Sidney Crosby and peak Mario Lemieux to watch, because that would be fun. But unfortunately, I am not a magician. I'm not a wizard. And all I can do is sit back and watch what we're all doing, watching along to the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the Florida Panthers. Again, if you like it, drop a like. I appreciate it. If you really like it, subscribe, because you're going to get more of this content almost every single night. But like I was saying, it seems like the Panthers have started to kind of control the pace of play here in the second period. Well, we're about 11 and a half minutes remaining here in the period. They've gotten a lot more opportunities. Looking at the shot counter, I mean, it's pretty even when it comes to the actual statistics when you see it laid out. But if you're looking at just kind of the eye test right now, you can clearly see that the Florida Panthers are getting the lion's share of opportunities right now. You'd pick pre-Steckel Crosby over current Crosby. Yeah. I would too. You know what, though? 2016, 2017 Sidney Crosby, those back-to-back cup runs was something to behold. It really was. I mean, there's a reason he won the Conn Smythe both years. I mean, you can argue that there were other people deserving, but I mean, the consistency that he had in those years, it was remarkable. Like I said, the game is starting to open up here a little bit. Anthony Duclair was trying to go on a run. He was stopped for Hagee, who was the hero in the first game between these two back in October. He's kind of been around the puck a little bit this time. I mean, he's a guy that, did you really expect to see Carter Verhaeghe as important to this Florida Panthers team as he has been? I mean, it's great for him. I'm sure he's going to get a nice contract the next time. But I definitely did not expect that whenever he was acquired. I thought it was a good addition. Oh, great opportunity there. Tristan Jarry shuts it down. And Big Jeff Carter, I said protect the front of the net. Big Jeff Carter, I don't know who he's on top of right now, but he protected the front of the net. I appreciate that. It's like he's listening. Maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins have it on the bench over there. Hockey Podcast Network live stream. Another wraparound opportunity. I believe that was for Hagee trying it. Duclair getting a little bit extra there. They play to the whistle. You know what? Good point. Kate Barry calls a Letang goal. With that, who scores the next goal in this game? Leave a comment. Who do you think scores the next goal in this game? After a couple comments come in, then I'll give mine because I really have a strong feeling about this one. Maple Leafs Media. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe because you're going to get way more opportunities to join watch-alongs like this here at the Hockey Podcast Network on YouTube. So who is going to score the next goal? Drop a comment. I really think, and Kate, once again, she says, maybe a Jeff Carter goal. Big Jeff Carter, he's been around. He's been around the puck this game. Maple Leafs Media chiming in right away upon entering. We love to see it. Says Jake Gensel. Hey, wearing the big 5'9" on my shirt right now. Wouldn't mind seeing it. Not a bad pick. Jake Gensel, like I said, last 3 games, he has really started to get his groove. JJDTV says, the Duke, Anthony Duclair. Wouldn't doubt it. He's had a good season thus far. You saw him just around the puck in right in front of the net. That's where you need to go if you want to score goals in this league. It's the only place that I would be able to score goals because I have a muffin of a shot. It is really bad. You know what? What's once is good, twice is better. Hikaru says next goal, Anthony Duclair. So we got a couple of Duclairs. You know who I think scoring the next goal? He hit the post in the first period for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think Kasperi Kapanen lights the lamp. That's who I'm going with. If it's from Florida, Carter Verhaeghe. Again, I like that. Both of those guys. And on the last shift, they were getting great opportunities on Tristan Jarry. He stood tall. Is there a delayed penalty here? It looks like there might be. The referee had his hand up. I'm not exactly sure. It must have been a delayed offsides or something. I don't know. Watching this game. Ooh. Penguins trying to get their forecheck going. That's what you need to do. Somebody just got launched. I think that was Carter Verhaeghe for the Florida Panthers. I don't know if he got tripped or if he got launched, but he was flying through the air there. Just seems like the Penguins can't get anything going in the offensive zone. When they get into the zone, they're doing a good job at forechecking, but when they get the puck, it seems like they can just not keep control of it, keep possession. There goes Captain. Make me right. Oh, no, he turns the puck over. That's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see in the slightest. There's a stoppage here. And they're going to go to break there. So I'm going to say, like I said, I'm going to say Kasperi Kapanen. I feel like the hat trick was just the beginning a couple of nights ago. It's unfortunate that they lost. I mean, you lose with a hat trick. I'd love to ask Kapanen, with what he went through at the beginning of the season, and then to score a hat trick, and you still lose the game. If you're him, you have to be happy, right? It's his first career hat trick. You have to be at least a little ecstatic. But the way in which they lost that game, giving up the tying goal with 2.2 seconds left in Minnesota, probably still stings. It is a team sport for a reason. So as of right now, I had the Penguins at 5-3. I'm getting a little worried about that right now. No goals so far in the second period. Tristan Jarry is playing well. Sergei Bobrovsky really has not been tested. If you look at the shots right now, 19-15 in favor of the Panthers, but the Penguins have not had a shot on goal probably about 5 minutes of play. There's about 8 minutes remaining in the second period here. So right now, if I'm looking at like a game score, I'm thinking Florida Panthers right now have a lot of the momentum. You know, I hate commercials. Like, watching commercials, I understand the need for commercials, but I just want more action. And look at that. Just like that, we're back. That play was Mark Friedman blocking a shot and clearing the puck. I mean, I don't know. Mark Friedman stayed in the lineup with the return of Pettersson and Ruhwedel. P.O. Joseph was taken out. So it's... Oh, we do have a power play. Kate Berry coming in clutch once again, reminding me stuff. I don't know what the penalty was. I have no idea what the penalty was, but okay, that's fine. Let's see the Pittsburgh Penguins power play do something. That would be a boost, wouldn't it? I mean, this power play is not... I mean, they've scored, what, like 2 or 3 goals this year? Rust with a slap shot. He misses the net. You know, this is just more of the same. They don't really get the setup going. I mean, understandably, you're missing a couple of your best players. But you would think he's been doing it for long enough that you could run this power play through Chris Letang and it should be effective. So, thank you for tuning in. The Boys TV. He said he's going to bed. Hey, that's fair. Everybody got to get their sleep. I didn't sleep much last night. But it's because I was so excited. I was coming on the Hockey Podcast Network live stream. I was going to get to meet all of you. I was going to get to talk to all of you. I was going to get to watch the Pittsburgh Penguins play hockey against one of, if not the best team right now in the NHL, in the Florida Panthers. But this is what you want to see. I'm just glad it's not a blowout. I really didn't want to see one team win 6-0. I know Isha wanted to see it, or at least he thought that's what was going to happen. But Penguins on the power play. They have it set up now, but they just haven't been able to get a shot through. Jake Gensel does get a shot through, but that's blockered aside by Bobrovsky and now Kapanen. This is what you need to see. You need to see sustained zone time. My laptop is about to die. I have my plug right here, though. Just got to remember where it was at. There we go. Perfect. I don't know why I didn't plug that in earlier, but at least this Penguins power play, they set it up a little bit, which is an improvement. They need to take this and they need to use it because it could either go one of two ways, and you see it in all of hockey. It's not just this game. Oh, and down goes opportunity here. Rodriguez fell, a great opportunity, but Sam Bennett not able to finish it, and now going the other way is Danton Heinen. This is what we wanted to see. Danton Heinen gives it up, and Rodriguez another turnover. This is not a good shift for Evan Rodriguez. And right out of the box, here comes a Florida Panther, but he is stuffed by John Marino. Back and forth they go. The ice is opening up, and this is hockey. This is what we like to see. I mean, we don't like to see turnovers from Evan Rodriguez, but we like to see 2-on-1s. We like to see a lot of opportunities. We like to see the ice open up. Mike Matheson, he is a forward, but he misses the net on that occasion. This is great right now. Great hockey, back and forth, a 3-on-2 now for the Florida Panthers. Opportunity, they should have hit Huberdeau, was wide open. He was wide open. If you would have hit him a little earlier, that probably would have been a goal. Penguins trying to reverse that, but this is great. This is good hockey right now. The speed is picking up. We saw at the beginning of the second period, the neutral zone was clogged up. Both teams were really trying to slow each other down, and now it just seems like, the brakes gave out. They're going. $5:20 to remain right now in the second period. I'm just waiting for the fireworks again because I said this was going to be a high-scoring game. As of right now, it is not. Only 1-1. But at the same time, it's starting to open up. Is this going to be a 3-on-2? It's the end of their shift, so the Florida Panthers are going to have to change. Tristan Jarry right now, 19 saves on 20 shots. He's probably the number one star of the game if I had to guess right now. I mean, The Penguins have 17 shots on Bobrovsky, but it feels like the Panthers have gotten the lion's share of high danger opportunities. I don't have that number in front of me right now, but I would assume, if I were to guess, that the Florida Panthers are probably outchancing the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 right now in high danger opportunities. It just seems like every time the Penguins have a really good opportunity, they either flub it or miss the net. And that's obviously not great when you're a team that's missing, their top scoring players, but they're still in this game as of right now. 4 minutes and 17 seconds and counting to go. A nice turnover there from Mike Matheson, who's activating again. Phenomenal term. He's activating their defense. But the Florida Panthers able to turn it around. So where we're at right now, it's a really good game. This is what we'd like to see, other than the fact that my bet on DraftKings is probably not going to go by. If you are just joining, first of all, welcome. Second of all, thank you for joining. Third of all, please hit a like button. Hit the like button. I guess there's only one like button that I want you to hit. But if you weren't with us earlier, I have one bet on this game, and that is that the total score will add up to over 6 goals. We're at 2 right now, 36 and a half minutes into the game. So not looking great for that bet, but that's all right because I didn't bet too much money anyway. See, this is what I mean. Right now, the Penguins are cycling the puck, sustained offensive zone time, but I don't even think they've gotten a shot off on net. Like, you need to start converting these opportunities. It's nice that you're containing the puck. It's nice that should be interference on Chris Letang. There's a line that gets drawn there. They let you go for a certain amount of time, and they let that go from Chris Letang. From what I've seen this year, I would have expected that to have been called an interference call. Good night, The Boys TV. Thank you for tuning in. Honestly, you've joined us. Basically, I feel like you've been here since the beginning. So thank you. Sleep well. And we hope to see you back here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel for another live stream. Opportunity here for Kapanen. Oh, I thought I had it. I thought he made me look smart. That's a very hard thing to do, but I thought Kapanen had it. Hits the outside of the net. Now, here come the Panthers on the opportunity. Sasha Barkov just doesn't quite get it. I'll make a note to talk about him. Opportunity here. Scores! Evan Rodriguez. What was I just saying earlier about we hate to see Evan Rodriguez turning the puck over so blatantly? Well, there it is. 2-1 Penguins. A great opportunity. And no, there's not a Pittsburgh Penguins game tomorrow, the boys. I would have to check the live stream schedule that we have to see if there is a live stream. The Penguins' next game is going to be on Saturday night against the Ottawa Senators. No Hikaru, nobody picked Erod. If they would have picked Erod, I probably would have made fun of them. And then, of course, they would be right, and they would have all the rights to pick on me for the rest of this live stream and probably all of eternity. But yes, the Penguins play the Senators on Saturday and the Capitals on Sunday. They're in my neck of the woods down here in Washington, D.C. So, if you didn't know that, I live in Washington, D.C. More specifically, Northern Virginia. Not that I don't know why anybody would care. But Penguins now take a 2-1 lead late in the second period. That's a huge goal for the Penguins. Now they just need to hold on. That's the one thing they've struggled at doing. Assists go to Jason Zucker and John Marino. That's Rodriguez's 4th goal of the season. Why do I feel like I've not seen him score at all this year? I mean, I know he's been kind of at the top, but at the same time, he's been at the top at scoring, but at the same time, I don't remember seeing him score goals. So, see ya. Have a good night. I hope you sleep well. I hope everybody sleeps well because when you don't sleep well, it's awful. And yes, the primary assist did go to Carly Zucker's husband, which she is now a member of Penguins faithful, Isha. Penguins faithful, not Minnesota Wild faithful. You got to get over it. You got to get over it, buddy. Less than a minute to play here in the second period. As soon as the period ends, I am going to take a quick break. When I return, obviously, I'll answer all your questions. If you have questions, if you want to talk about anything, drop it in the comment section. I am happy to answer questions. Happy to talk about anything. I'd love to keep it hockey related, but at the same time, I'm open to talking about almost anything. Let's try to keep it hockey related, though. Penguins here with 24 seconds left. Math has been trying to get an opportunity. And going back the other way, I believe that is Lundell, it looks like. And yes, it is. Lundell trying, oh my goodness, trying a very, very gorgeous goal. And he doesn't get one, but he does draw a penalty. It looks like the Penguins are going to be shorthanded for the last 15 and a half seconds of the second period. Looks like Chris Letang is going to be taking some time for slashing. So I know she still resides in Minnesota, but her heart's in Pittsburgh. Okay. For break. Okay. Well, we'll get to that after the break, Isha. He says Lemieux is hands down the better player compared to Gretzky. Correct. We will talk about that in the second intermission. I appreciate that. You're filling out my rundown. Who am I kidding? There's like 10 notes on this thing. I'm just talking. All I'm doing is talking to everybody here on the stream. That's basically all it is. And watching the Pittsburgh Penguins game at the same time. But before we even get to that point, thank you again for tuning in. If you want to, please hit the like button. Please also subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, because we have watch-alongs like this almost every single night, at least weeknight, of the NHL regular season. Time is down here, second period. Like I said, we're going to go to break really quickly. Might be a little bit, no, not going to be that much longer of a break. But after 2 periods of play, the Pittsburgh Penguins lead by a score of 2-1 over the Florida Panthers. This will be a huge win for the Pittsburgh Penguins if they're able to hold on, something that they've struggled with over the past couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens there. But for right now, like I said, I'm going to take a quick break. When I return, we're going to answer Isha's question about Gretzky or Lemieux. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. My name is Nick Berlansky, and I host the Tip of the Iceberg podcast covering the Pittsburgh Penguins. I also host the Hockey Hotbed podcast, which covers the entirety of the NHL, including the other team playing in tonight's bout, the Florida Panthers. Right now, the top team in the National Hockey League. We'll see what happens after tonight. As of right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins lead by a score of 2-1. Let's throw the score right back up there. Oh, see, I missed my cue. See, I'm getting there. At least I'm remembering to put it on. But thank you again to Kate, who has reminded me a couple times, and Josh, who has also reminded me a couple times, because I am a rookie. Very green in the gills. Well, that's different. Oh, well. But this stream and every stream from the Hockey Podcast Network is brought to you, as always, by DraftKings. Make sure you use promo code THPN at the DraftKings Sportsbook app for great odds and opportunities at sign up. Once again, promo code THPN. So before break, we had a really good topic of conversation here, and I want everybody to chime in the comments if you're watching right now. Isha Jerome, who is my boss, who is the boss, who is our fearless leader here at the Hockey Podcast Network, him as well as Dylan Kaiser, says Lemieux is hands down the better player compared to Wayne Gretzky, correct? I say yes. I think you are 100% correct. You look at how healthy, surprisingly, Wayne Gretzky was able to stay throughout his career, how many more games he played than Mario Lemieux. When it comes to best player of all time, again, I'm going to say Lemieux. I want everybody to put in the comments, who's better, Lemieux or Gretzky all time? Who was the better player? I say Lemieux. I just think the way that he was able to just kind of transcend eras. He continued to play really well in the dead puck era when he was older, after already going through cancer, a back issue where he could barely even tie his skates, and a multitude of other issues. So I stick my flag with the good old 66. 66 greater than 99, in my opinion. I want to know everybody else's. Hikaru says Mario was more talented, but longevity matters. And I agree. I do. I mean, the more you play, obviously, the more opportunities that you have. And that's why you look at Gretzky's record, his points record, which is, it's never going to be caught. I mean, we'll see what McDavid can do. But I mean, he would have to sustain what he's doing, which doesn't seem like an issue right now, but we'll see how that continues. But his points record, meaning Gretzky's, is near untouchable. His goals record was thought to be untouchable. I mean, nobody's ever going to have as many assists as Wayne Gretzky, but his goals record is only going to be touched possibly by Alex Ovechkin. So, I mean, that's something else that's a really fun watch, is watching Ovechkin right now soar up the list. Right now, he's tied with Bobby Hall for 4th. But at the same time, you know, while longevity matters, if I'm looking at the player, if Lemieux and, you know, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I don't know. I would probably, I don't remember how the end of that saying is, but if Lemieux was able to have a clean bill of health, revisionist history is always fun. I would say he would have been considered easily. There wouldn't have been a question. He would be the best player of all time. A couple of more comments now here. Maple Leafs Media chimes in, says, I understand what you're saying with the health issues, but take away all of Gretzky's goals and he still has more points than any other player off his assists alone. That's a good point. Like I said, his assist record is probably never going to be touched. His points record, most likely not going to be touched. And, well, listen, it's a difficult discussion because Wayne Gretzky's literally called the Great One. You know, Lemieux has a pretty cool nickname too. You know, Les Magnifiques. I butchered that because I never took French. But at the same time, what would have happened if Lemieux was healthy all those years? I mean, he lost the prime of his career too. It's not like he lost just the tail end, like he got injured. He lost the prime of his career. 1990, 91, 92 was only 6-7 years into his career. So that's like if McDavid right now, I mean, knock on wood, we don't want to see it because it's fun watching him. That's like if McDavid right now would get injured and not play for the next 2 years, basically. So some other people chiming in the comments. Nick Horwat says, Gretzky always had on-ice protection. It took until acquiring Ulf Samuelsson to protect Mario. Yeah, and that was, like I said, 6-7 years into his career. So Maple Leafs Media, again, you can make the argument for best but not greatest. Fair enough. Mad Mike chiming in once again, said Pittsburgh scored just as I was doing a red 13 on my hand for tonight's Taylor Swift album released. All right. You got to keep doing it then. Just keep overlapping. Keep doing it. Maple Leafs Media also says it's kind of the same, or he thinks the same way with Bobby Orr, which is fair. I mean, if you ever go back and look at how many games Bobby Orr has actually played, it's not a lot. He had a really short career. So for what he did in that time, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hikaru says, I feel like I have to pick Wayne to be fair because in 10 years, we're going to have to pick Ovechkin over Sid for the same reasons if we want to be fair and not biased. Yeah, that's a conversation that, you know, Sid versus Ovi. I did a special on the network, on the Patreon a long time ago with Hockey Troll of the official Caps Chirp podcast. And we had a discussion, definitely a long discussion about which player was better. So that's an interesting one. That's something that I don't want to get into right now, right here on this stream, Sid versus Ovi, but we'll keep it to Gretzky versus Lemieux for right now. You know, focus back on the game. Kate wants the Pens to get the win. I agree. Isha, who started this whole conversation, said Ovi at his pace can tie Wayne's record this year. Yeah, he's definitely on fire. I didn't expect him to be in the top 3 of scoring a month into the season. And by scoring, I mean points. I kind of expect him to be high on the goals list. Didn't think he'd be scoring at this pace. Isha also chimes in and says Lemieux is the greatest one. I like that. I like that a lot. And he also says top 3 players are Mario, Howe, then Wayne. It's probably still a little premature, but I wonder what's going to happen when we start talking about McDavid. I mean, he has to win something besides scoring titles, meaning some team awards. But again, goes into the conversation. Where do you put team success in terms of how great a player is? It's hard. The Maple Leafs media says Sid over Ovi, in his opinion. Team success on all platforms. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Andrew? Welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We have 1 period left of play. The Penguins currently lead 2-1 on the Hockey Podcast Network live stream. My first live stream. So if you've enjoyed this, I've really enjoyed it as well. I've enjoyed getting to meet all of you. I've enjoyed getting to talk to all of you. And I've enjoyed watching this game with all of you. So I'll probably be back. I will be back. I will be back at some point. As long as it works out with my schedule, I will love to be here talking to all of you here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. So I want to go back into this game and talk a little bit about Sasha Barkov. He's a player that was underrated for the longest time. A lot of people questioned why the Florida Panthers had invested so much time and so much effort and so much money into Alexander Barkov. And people always said, oh, he's pretty good. He's also really stout defensively, which is not a lie. But the kind of inverse of that was a lot of people saying, yeah, but is he a star? And to that, I say, is it easy to be a star playing for the Florida Panthers? It's not, especially because prior to last season, Florida Panthers were not great for a good while. Whenever I look at what he's done this year, whenever I look at what he's done, even in this game, because there's a couple players that I've noticed through 2 periods that look like they're gonna score. I agree with everybody here that it's gonna be. I could see Anthony Duclair scoring. We had a little discussion earlier about the fact that Patrick Hornqvist is in his return game to Pittsburgh. Yeah, it would be like him to score in the biggest moment, wouldn't it? I mean, we said he might score because of the game that it is, but, he'll probably wait till the biggest moment. But at the same exact time, if I'm going to pick 2 guys to score, one for either team who scores the next goal, I would agree with most of the people in the chat and say Anthony Duclair because of where he's been playing. He's right in front of the net. He's making a home there. And as I mentioned before the last period, the Pittsburgh Penguins are not great at protecting the net. They're not great. Andrew asking if I'm doing a doubleheader tonight. I am not. I do not have the energy to do a doubleheader, although I would love to. I might watch the Seattle Kraken game, actually. The Seattle Kraken, Anaheim Ducks, that comes on at 10. I might watch it. Probably won't do the live stream. But you can definitely catch live streams on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel basically almost every single night. The more people that are going to start to do this, like me, like Neil, like Isha, like everybody else on the network that does it, the more people are going to want to join and have fun. So I will not be doing a doubleheader tonight, Andrew, but there's still 1 period to play here. And I'll give a little post-game talk about this game. And then I'll be back at a later date. So Maple Leafs media also chiming in once again. My prediction for 3 teams to lead the Metro Division at the end of the year. For him, it is Caps, Islanders, and Hurricanes. That's a good bet. At the beginning of the year, you know what? I wasn't sure what to expect out of the Capitals. I wasn't sure what to expect out of the Penguins. I wasn't sure what to expect out of Philly or the Rangers. But I did know that the Carolina Hurricanes were going to be a good team. I did. I knew the Hurricanes were going to be a good team. I knew the Islanders. I've talked down on the Islanders a lot in the past couple of years. I got to give them some respect. So I think they're going to be there. I think the Rangers instead of the Capitals. I do. I think once they put it all together, it's going to be really fun what we see coming out of New York. So Hikaru says, will we see you and Horwat doing one together sometime? Probably. Most likely. I'm doing this one flying solo for tonight just because I wanted to try it. Horwat, if our schedules ever match up, I mean, it always seems like when he's watching a game, I'm not watching a game, or when I'm watching a game, he's not watching a game. So if our schedules line up, well, you'll probably see both of us here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel because it is fun. But Andrew also chiming in saying the Panthers are so good this year, and they are. I mean, prior to Monday, they had not lost in regulation. Now they've lost 2 straight in regulation, which obviously you lose to the New York Rangers, you lose to the New Jersey Devils, both road games, both difficult games. That was in a stretch of 3 games in 4 days for the Florida Panthers. Now the Penguins are starting that same stretch going over the weekend. But overall, the Florida Panthers, I mean, there's a reason that a lot of people are consensus having them as the top team right now. So it's really difficult to imagine a team right now that's playing as good as the Florida Panthers. I mean, you look at the game last Saturday. It was Panthers Hurricanes. At the time, the Hurricanes had not lost a game. They were undefeated, not even an overtime loss. Panthers took it to them. I mean, 4 goals in the first period that showed that this team is the real deal. And if you want a little verification on whether or not I'll be joined by my friend, my confidant, Nicholas Horwat, first of all, again, the first part, yeah, I don't know about killing it. I'm trying here. Hopefully, I'm a little bit entertaining, but he's definitely going to be on in the future. Work from home is busy at the moment. We both work from home at times. I know I technically have work after this, but I think I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. Don't tell any of my bosses, other bosses, not the Hockey Podcast Network. But let's see what this says here. Isha says, Andrew's a beauty, enjoys us often. Nick, thanks for stopping by. Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy me as much as you enjoy Isha. I know that's very difficult because those boys up in good old Vancouver, on Vancouver Island, I should say that. God, people on Long Island get mad. I don't know about Vancouver Island if you say in versus on, but those guys always do a great job. I usually try to check out theirs and try to throw them off their game a little bit, but it's not possible. So thank you again, Andrew, for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying this stream tonight. But I'm going to take a quick break right before the third period begins because I need another break and I need to fill up my water bottle. So I'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, doing a watch-along of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers, the best team in the NHL, versus a team that is right now in the bottom of the Metropolitan Division. That might change after tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, currently leading 2-1 at the start of the third period. So as the period is getting ready to start, we thank you for tuning in and joining us. There are the stats right now. 23-19 are the shots on goal in favor of the Florida Panthers. You look at the game flow, the Panthers have kind of controlled the pace of play here. The Penguins have been able to take advantage of their opportunities. Obviously, Evan Rodriguez right now is the difference maker, scoring that goal on a breakaway or pseudo breakaway. First goal of the game was by Teddy Bluger in the first period. The tying goal was from Frankie Vetrano on a great pass from Anton Lundell. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know why I did this out of order, but as I mentioned earlier, Evan Rodriguez right now, the difference maker on that pseudo breakaway, beating Sergei Bobrovsky glove side. Andrew wants me to tell him a little bit about myself. Well, I am a host here on the Hockey Podcast Network. I cover the Pittsburgh Penguins on a little podcast I call the Tip of the Iceberg Podcast. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, so that's most of what I know is Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. But since joining the network a little over 2 years ago, I'd like to think of myself as an original. I don't know if that's a thing. Isha can verify original Hockey Podcast Network hosts, but I feel like I'm one of them. So I've been on the podcast network for a couple of years. Third period is underway, by the way, in Pittsburgh. And just recently started a second podcast here on the network covering the entire NHL called The Hockey Hotbed. So I cover all 32 teams, coast to coast, every Tuesday and Friday for that show. So I hope that's what you wanted. If you have any other personal questions, I mean, I'm at Nick_Berlansky on Twitter. So feel free to follow me there as well. You can DM me. I do respond. I love to respond. So I don't know why people are calling me. And by people, I mean Isha is calling me a radio legend. I've been on campus radio, but that's about it. That is true. I did join the network about 3 days before the season in 2019-20. Me and Horwat and I both did, taking over the Tip of the Iceberg podcast. So I did not come up with the name of Tip of the Iceberg podcast. I wish I did, but I'm not that creative. I did come up with Hockey Hotbed though. I will take full props on that one. So Florida Panthers right now, 36 seconds remaining on a power play that they got at the end of the second period there. They're going to need to get going here to score on the Pittsburgh Penguins and keep this game going. I will never forget WPPJ on the banks of the Monongahela River. Horwat loved when I used to say that and used to make him laugh all the time. Do I ever cover games for the Dallas Stars? I have not personally, but at the Hockey Podcast Network, we have had a couple of hosts cover Dallas Stars games. And honestly, Mondo, if you like the Dallas Stars, maybe I'll start covering Dallas Stars game. Maybe if I have some time, I will start covering Dallas Stars game. And you know what? There it is. Isha is basically like my producer for the comment section tonight. I mean, he has been here since I went on the air at 6:55 my time. So it would be 3:55 his time, I think, something like that. But definitely, if you like the Dallas Stars, on the network, Starcastic Review covers the Dallas Stars. So check them out. I'm sure we will have plenty of watch-alongs with Dallas Stars involved, but that's 100%. You know, if you like that, if you like what I'm saying, if you like me on here, maybe I'll start covering Dallas Stars games. Like I said, on the Hockey Hotbed, I cover all 32 teams. You know what? I do have a question. And answer this and tell me if you like the wave at sporting events. Because this is now, I believe, like every single game that has happened in Pittsburgh, they do the wave at some point. I mean, there's 17 minutes and 42 seconds left in this game. Great opportunity here. They're just going to let them have it, and a save made by Tristan Jarry. But the Pittsburgh Penguins fans always do the wave. The Pittsburgh fans always do the wave. And there's a tie goal by, who was I talking about in the intermission? Who was I talking about that is just that good? That would be Sasha Barkov. And the score is now knotted up at 2 on the 25th shot of the night for the Florida Panthers. Early third period goal here, and we're all knotted up. Goal totals at 4. I mean, I doubt I'm going to get it. But Sasha Barkov, I mean, that's just a quick release over the glove side of Tristan Jarry. It's a nice pass. I just can't see who it was that had the primary pass there, who sent it right to Barkov in between 3 Pittsburgh Penguins in the slot. And Barkov just does what he does. He does not miss from that slot. And all of a sudden, it's a brand new hockey game with 17 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period. I was about to give my tips to win here in the third period for both teams. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, it was finish strong. And, that's already kind of, I mean, it's still finish strong because they have struggled at the tail end of games. Tuesday, I do understand that they scored with about 4 minutes left in the game to tie that one up. But other than that, for the most part, and that assist was from Carter Verhaeghe. Absolute beautiful dish getting the primary apple there. So, Hikaru, you did ask this earlier, and I forgot to bring it up. I apologize. Has to ask again, why is every Pens goaltender so weak at high glove? I don't know. They might just not have confidence because over the years, they've been shot on by Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin in practice, and I'm sure those two don't miss very often. But realistic answer, I have no idea. It's kind of not good. You hate to see it. But overall, I think when it comes to glove side, Marc-Andre Fleury was never, I mean, he had his stints where he was not great at stopping glove side, but he had a pretty good catching glove. Matt Murray, on the other hand, not good. Not good. Hopefully that is still the case on Saturday when the Penguins play Matt Murray and the Ottawa Senators. And Kate Barry, 5-2 Pens. You're half right as of right now. You have one of them locked in, and that's the Florida Panthers score. So, this question from Andrew. Do you like to keep Vegas and Seattle in hockey? I don't know if I understand the question. Do I like them as hockey markets? I do. I really do. I think Vegas right now, once they get healthy, they're going to be one of the most fun teams to watch. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with their salary cap situation, but if they get healthy and all these players can actually fit under the cap, or they can do something illegal that people will turn their heads at the commissioner's office, it'd be fun to watch on the ice. But I think they're going to be in deep trouble in about 2 to 3 years. I mean, they already are in cap trouble. Seattle, I've loved watching them. I love the jerseys. I'm going to watch that game tonight because I'm probably going to be too amped up to go to sleep right after this game. But I've enjoyed watching their game so far, mainly because of Brandon Tanev. He has become like a cult hero there. I mean, he's scoring goals too. Like, he's performing well and playing well. But I've really enjoyed watching Brandon Tanev play for the Seattle Kraken and just enjoyed watching that team altogether. So I do like hockey in Vegas and hockey in Seattle. I do want to visit both of those places actually and see a game both of those places. But let's see. Hikaru says, I'm dreading the thought of Lindbergh developing with a weak glove side. Yeah, you're talking, obviously, Hikaru is talking about Philip Lindbergh, who is right now in his first professional season playing for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins. The last time I checked, he was doing really good, but I haven't checked in. I kind of slacked the last week and a half. Not really looked at how the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins have played, but he was the goalie of the month. I mean, Lindbergh was the AHL goalie of the month for the first month of the season. It's what you love to see from the 22-year-old. So, Horwat, thanks for keeping me honest here. Murray may be out for Saturday, COVID outbreak within Ottawa and in the protocol now. Not great. I am 24 years old, going to be 25 in a couple weeks here. So if December 4th rolls around and you do remember, drop a happy birthday to me. I will appreciate it, and I will say thank you very much because I don't know. I don't make much out of my birthday, but I like hearing from people, and that's why I like doing this stream as well on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. Back to the Vegas talk a little bit here. Isha says Vegas credit to McPhee and the boys, but screw that. Seattle's a beautiful city and amazing logo, but that team I hate as a Canucks guy. Yeah, wow. I didn't think that would have already been something. But back to the game really quickly. Isha's surprised that I'm only 24 years old. I don't know why. No, I'm 24, born in 1996. So yeah, young buck over here on the network. One of the younger on the network. So the Pittsburgh Penguins now, back to the game. I don't know why anything became about my age. Back to the game right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins getting a power play, already 0 for 2 on the evening. Like I said, this power play's been inept all season long. So we'll see if they can do something here. 5 shots though. Not awful. The last time they were out there, they were able to set it up a little bit. So maybe if they can build upon that and get a couple of shots on net. I know Kasperi Kapanen has not been releasing the puck very much since he hit the post in that first period. So I'd like to see him do that. And then here's an opportunity for Rust. Again, you passed up the opportunity to shoot the puck there if you're Brian Rust. He was trying to get a little too cutesy with it and passing it down there, and it just did not work out. But the Penguins continue to hold control right now. Kapanen down low, looking for Carter. See, this is what you want to see if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is great. This is good cycling of the puck, good puck possession. There's a great opportunity. And again, just 1 minute too many passes. Gensel just wasn't ready to shoot the puck in that position, but he was all alone in the crease. There's a shot saved by Bobrovsky, and that's just what's going to happen. That's why you got to shoot a little bit more. Eventually, he's going to save at least some of them. So Sperry captain. Now they're resetting. Half the power play already gone. This is what you want to see, though. A lot of zone time for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Opportunity there. Shot. Big glove save from Sergei Bobrovsky. Oh, that's the Vezina caliber guy right there. Doing a great job. So I thought that I was old. Geez, you're old. No, 30 isn't that old. Come on, Isha. 30 isn't that old. I'm the Jeff Carter of the Hockey Podcast Network. You know, I do have my front teeth. These aren't fake. These are not fake. So I don't know how. I don't know. I don't understand. But goalie Bob, yes, I agree. Sergei Bobrovsky. We talked at the outset of the show, at the top of the show, at about 2 hours ago. Sergei Bobrovsky is Vezina Sergei Bobrovsky this year. So this is what you can expect from him. I mean, the Penguins. This is good though. If you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, you're very happy about what you're seeing on the power play right now. Just great positioning. Had the glove there, and then, doing his Russian thing, just staring it down. Instead of showing it to him, he's just kind of keeping an eye on it. Watch it. Great play there from Sasha Barkov, and the Panthers are going to be able to clear it for the first time in this power play for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ooh, who is? I believe that's Mike Matheson or John Marino. That was John Marino coming out with a head of steam. And the Penguins are back to business here on the power play. Opportunity saved again by Bobrovsky. This time it was DOC. DOC? He's getting power play time? Interesting. Hikaru says, so does Marc-Andre Fleury hit 500 wins this season? I am not sure where he's currently. If somebody knows, can you drop that in the thing? I don't really want to look it up right now. Just trying to focus on the game here. But wherever he's at right now, I don't think, let's see, if he stays with Chicago, which that's a good point by Isha there, saying in Chicago, no, with another team, sure. If he stays in Chicago, he's not going to get to 30 wins this year. He's at 493. Yeah, he'll get 7 wins this year. Yeah, I think he'll get 7 more wins, at least. Even if he's playing with the Chicago Blackhawks. I know they're not great, but and I know he's starting to kind of split starts with Kevin Lankin in there, but at the same time, yeah, no, he'll get at least 7. He'll hit 500. Thank you to Andrew saying he likes me and I'm doing a good job. So he likes city life more. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. That's why he's the boss. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Oh, and the boys' TV is back. I'm sorry that you can't sleep, but I am happy that you're back because hockey is more fun when you're watching with friends. And now I consider you a friend. You're stuck. You're stuck with that. You have to be my friend now. So, Pittsburgh Penguins do not score on that power play, but it was productive. Hey, that's one if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. They cycled the puck pretty well. They got a couple of good opportunities on the net. Sergei Bobrovsky was just that much better. Now we have 12 and a half minutes left. Still a tie game here. If this game goes into a shootout, I might just have to log off. Don't want to put that evil in the world. Knock on wood. Let's hope that it does not happen. But a nice defensive play there by Radko Gudas. I always kept saying that the Panthers defense is really, really good and really underrated. I always forgot that Radko Gudas was still in the league. Yes, I do take friends where I can get them. Just anytime somebody wants to be my friend, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to have friends. But 12 minutes remaining here. If I'm looking at what each team needs to do, I mean, the Penguins have done a really good job at kind of slowing down the Panthers because in the first period, their breakout was pretty unstoppable, it looked like. I mean, at least the Penguins were not stopping them. But since then, it looks like the Penguins have kind of been able to slow them down a little bit, kind of ease them in a little bit. And just the opportunities now, it is slowed down since that Penguins power play, but it seems like the Penguins are starting to get a little bit more momentum. Yeah, this is exactly my point. How is he still in the league? He's just somewhere. There's just someone else that just, I don't know. Always there. Always in the league. Somewhere, just, I don't know. Andrew, if you're leaving, we say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. We'd love to have you back. I will be on again at some point. I know City Life will definitely be doing another stream at some point. So thank you so much. I will be on actually until, listen, the game has 12 minutes left. I'll definitely be going out the rest of the game, and then I'll probably have a little bit of a post-game show. So if you're still out and I'm still on, I'd love to see you back here right after the game for a post-game show. Quick post-game show. Because like I said, 8-hour shift at the restaurant. And now on this stream for a couple hours. I'm having a lot of fun, though. You guys are giving me life. I appreciate it. But like I said, there's 12 or about 12 minutes left in this game, 2-2. What more could you ask for? I mean, I could ask for a little bit more scoring because, my over of 6 goals at DraftKings, promo code THPN. I need a little bit more, a little bit more scoring juice. But Mad Mike, it's going to be a close one. So much for your prediction. Yeah, that happens. We're in the same boat here, Mike. In the exact same boot. I don't know where that came from. We're in the same boat. I am no parts Canadian. Is that even Canadian? I don't know. I've never been north of the border. I need to change that. Sorry, I don't like to take drinks usually during the middle, but yeah. So the boys TV going to bed now. All right. Well, let us know if you can't, and if you can't, come on back. But good luck. Hopefully you catch some Z's. So the game is back on now. 11:51 left. Barkov, that goal, I'm not going to hold Jari against it. I think it's closer to a boat than a boot. Okay. Yeah. Linguistics with Nick Berlansky. That's what this is turning into. Even though I'm not the one that actually do it. Hikaru is the one that's correcting me, which probably right. Florida out of this commercial break has had a couple opportunities. Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, Teddy Bluger. Two-goal game almost for the Latvian superstar. So this game right now with 11 minutes left, if this goes into overtime, I would say, who do you think overtime would favor? Obviously, we know who shootout favors. Anybody that's watched the Penguins in the past, even in the past week, if it goes into a shootout, we know who is probably the favorite. But if this is just going to end in overtime, who is going to have the advantage? Do you give it to the Penguins or do you give it to the Panthers? Isha says the Panthers. Okay, I get that. They have the star players. I mean, you have Barkov with space. You have Huberdeau with space. Maybe even Sam Reinhart. It doesn't seem like Sam Reinhart's really got in on any of the action. But, sorry. I'll put up the correct spelling for you, Isha. And Hikaru K. Says if it goes into overtime, Letang. Okay, that's fair. Letang has the lone overtime game winner for the Pittsburgh Penguins this season. He did that against the Flyers last weekend. I would like it to be a little bit more of a definitive goal if so, yes. But at the same time, if this does go into overtime, maybe then I'll get the Kapanen goal. We'll see. Florida Panthers still outshooting the Pittsburgh Penguins pretty severely here, 31-23. So if I'm doing a 3 stars of the game with 10 minutes left, it's a novel idea. Doing the 3 stars of the game with still, a sixth left, 1/6 of the game left. I'd probably put Tristan Jarry as, depending on if they win. That's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue right there. But if they win, he's probably the first star. He's probably the first star. I'd give Barkov a star because that shot was unbelievable, and he's been good all game. And then maybe Big Jeff Carter, just because apparently I'm the Jeff Carter of the Hockey Podcast Network. So if I'm going to be biased, I'm going to be biased all the way. Oh, my goodness. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Definitely. Drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network. Welcome, Manny Davidson. Let's go Pens. I concur. Let's go Pens. Welcome to the stream, Manny. Glad to have you here. 9 minutes left here in the third period to play. Still at 2-2 game. Manny says 4-3 overtime final. Okay. Hey, I wouldn't mind it a little bit more scoring. What about a Brian Boyle goal? Boyle has 2 on the season already. Obviously, everybody in the locker room loves him. Pittsburgh media loves him. If you don't follow the Pittsburgh Penguins, day to day and all their media, Brian Boyle got his son a Brian Boyle jersey, Penguins jersey. But when his son turned it over and it was not a Sidney Crosby jersey, he was a little upset, which I thought was hilarious. I might have the same reaction, Brian. Sorry. They're going to take one more commercial break before the end of this game. You know what? I was going to take a break, but I don't know. Who needs a break? We'll take a break after the game ends and after the stream ends. I'm just going to stay right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. So less than 5 minutes to go here. Maybe actually a little bit over. About 8 minutes to go here. In a 2-2 game. I see my fiance hasn't fallen asleep yet. In a 2-2 game. Thanks for tuning in. In a 2-2 game, there's a lot more game breakers on the side of the Florida Panthers right now. There are a lot more game breakers. I mean, Barkov, you already saw, he scored a goal earlier in this period. Huberdeau, he's been kind of silent. So is Sam Reinhart. So is Sam Bennett. So we'll see if any of those guys show up. I'm still a little nervous about a Patrick Hornqvist goal. I haven't seen him out on the ice very often here since the first period, but it always seems that a goal from somebody like that, a former Pittsburgh Penguin, just rears its ugly head right in the most important moments. And we're getting down to it right now. Right now, I want to take a look at the stats, actually, while we have the time here in a commercial break. Shots on goal, 33-24 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Yeesh. Power plays, I believe, each 6 penalty minutes, so each team 0 for 3 on the power play. Penguins' penalty kill has been good all season long. The power play has been inept, but we've seen a little bit of progress for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That last power play was a great opportunity. Hits, 27-23 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins also went in the faceoff dot 23-18, which is a good for 56%. And once again, as usual, Pittsburgh Penguins, when it comes to turnovers, they're leading. So that's where it stands right now. 8:43 remaining in the third period. Again, there's a lot of game breakers on the ice for the Florida Panthers. Maybe even Anton Lundell. So I could see Anton Lundell doing that just because I've kind of highlighted him throughout the game. And he had that beautiful assist on the first goal. So he's already playing pretty good hockey tonight. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he's able to go out there and get the winner. But as of right now, I mean, the Panthers have kind of started to take it to the Penguins. Great opportunity, but Brock McKinn not able to finish it. Oh, it just seems like Sergei Bobrovsky is getting into a zone that you just almost have to do something ridiculous to get it past him right now. What's going up? Richard Flores. Good old Dick Flow. If you've ever watched the Hockey Podcast Network After Hours, you will definitely understand that reference. I have seen Eternals. I have a lot of thoughts on Eternals. It's definitely I have a lot of thoughts on Eternals. We'll have to message back and forth. That's for sure. Hikaru says, I miss the days when we were guaranteed to own Bob. So do I. But to be fair, I don't think any of those Columbus Blue Jackets teams that he played on all those years were ever nearly as good as this Florida Panthers team. So, Pittsburgh Penguins here. Great. See, Brian Rust on that opportunity, a great play, but he only had one hand on his stick going on there. The thoughts are over budget and sucks. Wow. Isha, I didn't know you were a Marvel fan. I don't know if that's something that I just missed. But, I never knew you were a Marvel fan. Over budget and sucks. I don't know if I'd go with that. I think I would agree that they did a little too much. They did a little too much there. But, again, if I ever start a Marvel podcast, now I know. I can have Dick Flow and I can have good old Isha Jerome. All right, you know what? She's not wrong, folks. She's not wrong. back to the game right now. Pittsburgh Penguins, the last couple of minutes have seemed to get a little bit more momentum, which most of you know, because most of you are watching the game. But if not, if you're just watching me and counting on my opinions of the game and my call of the game, first of all, I love it. Absolutely love it. But also probably want to tune it in. It's probably good. But see, Pittsburgh Penguins are going back to doing the same exact thing. Offensive zone time, yes. Opportunities, not as much. Jeff Carter understands. That's why I just tried to rip a shot through 18 shin pads. Clearly, it wasn't going to go through. Maybe that's why I'm the Jeff Carter, the Hockey Podcast Network, just randomly shooting my shot, and most of the time it does not work. Oh, well. But, like I said, just a couple minutes left in this game. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. This game, it has the feeling like it's going to go to overtime. But at the same time, I feel like just because I'm having fun doing this live stream, it's going to end in regulation, so I don't get to go and call in overtime, basically. I don't know. Either way, seems like we've had mostly Penguins fans here on the stream, which I appreciate because clearly I grew up a Penguins fan and I still lean Pittsburgh Penguins. But if there's any Florida Panthers fans still on the stream or watching on the stream, which, I appreciate that. Let me know what you think your prospects are. Like, what are your expectations for the Florida Panthers this year? Is it cup or bust? Which I think it would be kind of a surprise if any Panthers fan was like cup or bust. But, last year you lost in the first round of the playoffs. It was a really good series. It was a fun series to watch. Do they need to win at least a series? Is that the bar? Is it the Toronto Maple Leafs bar of finally win a playoff series? Or do you expect more? I'd love to know. So if there's a Florida Panthers fan in the chat, or if realistically, if anybody wants to give their expectations on what the Florida Panthers are going to do this year, what the ceiling is, in your opinion, on the Florida Panthers, I'd love to hear it with about 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. Isha says Panthers, Tampa playoff series is all I'm waiting for. Yeah, well, really? Better rivalry than the Battle of Alberta? Matthew Tkachuk would disagree, but, Matthew Tkachuk disagrees with basically everything unless it pays him more money. So, oh well. Penguins have an opportunity here. Mackenzie Weegar fell, but pass not able to connect there. 6 minutes left in this game. A slap shot goes awry. That actually went through Bobrovsky in good positioning, though. Mondo says Penguins are in last place in their division. Yes, they are. Right now, I believe they have 12 standings points. Yeah, they do. I believe I don't know if they're tied with anybody, but they are in last. 100%. Isha says, there's a line brawl in the preseason. It's way better. Well, recency. They did play in the postseason. When is the last time that the Battle of Alberta took place over a postseason series? It's been a while. That's why the Penguins and the Capitals was a rivalry. But then they played 3 years in a row in the playoffs. Oh, then it became a real big rivalry. It really became a big rivalry when Crosby and Ovechkin were both drafted. But it heated up in 2009 whenever they played in the playoffs for the first time. Chris Letang takes it into the zone, drops it off to Chad Ruhwedel. Offensive defenseman Chad Ruhwedel. That's different. Guy with the best hair on the team taking the puck from the guy with the worst hair on the team. And I did not say that incorrectly. So just under 5 minutes here. So the final 5 minutes here, Anthony Duclair, who a lot of you thought was going to score a goal today, he's getting a couple opportunities. Every time it seems like he touches, there's a bad turnover opportunity. And oh my goodness, was that Duclair? That was. How many of you correctly predicted Anthony Duclair? With 4:45 to go, that's a gut-wrenching one. And as of right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are down 3-2. If the score remains, this will be once again the Pittsburgh Penguins losing thanks to a late goal. So, props to everybody that on this chat. Clearly you've watched the game. You've seen Anthony Duclair be all over the place, and that is a huge goal for the Florida Panthers. Nice pass there by, I believe it's Sam Reinhart, number 23 for the Florida Panthers. Oh, no, sorry. Carter Verhaeghe. How did I mess that up? I've been talking about Carter Verhaeghe this entire time. So, yes. 3-2 is the score right now with 4:45 to play. Can the Pittsburgh Penguins... Oh, there's a coach's challenge. I don't have the volume on the TV, so it might be for an offsides. We'll see here. Sasha Barkov, it's going back, and that is clearly an offsides. This goal is getting called back, folks. We have a 2-2 hockey game. I mean, I don't know what's taking so long. That first shot was clear as day. Richard, I mean, you like the Duke, but that goal is coming back. Right there, freeze frame, stop it. Wow, that was really well timed. I mean, it's probably on a delay, but for everybody else, but I timed that pretty well. No, that was definitely offsides. That goal's definitely coming back. Shout out to Karu, called it. Mad Mike says, and Duclair. But hey, no goal. There it is, officially. Wow. Yeah. If anybody's watching the AT&T Sportsnet, that Penguins fan clearly just dropped an F-bomb on TV. That's fantastic. So we have a 2-2 game with 4:49 remaining here in the third. That's huge. We'll see who that benefits. I mean, will that just incense Duclair and the Panthers, or will the Pittsburgh Penguins take that and say, all right, we have an opportunity here. Let's not mess it up. I mean, that's what they play the game for. So 4:45 and counting, the puck is dropped and the play continues here in a 2-2 game. No score alert. It is not 3-2. Getting score alerts. They need to keep up. Brock McGinn in the back gives it off to John Marino, and out they go. Here come the Penguins on the breakout. Opportunity in a 2-on-1 if he can get it over there, but Teddy Bluger not able to get quite over there. Oh, and a beautiful pass to Danton Heinen. Why is Heinen on this line? I'm confused. Has he been on the line all night and I'm just not paying attention? Danton Heinen on a line with Brock McGinn and Teddy Bluger. I should pay better attention to who's on the ice at the time. Really should. But just over 4 minutes to play here. This has really been a tightly contested matchup. I mean, there have been some really good opportunities, but at the same time, I mean, grade A opportunities, no. All the grade A opportunities were the 4 goals. That's basically what we've seen. Jeff Carter has it now for the Penguins below the goal line. He gets it out, and a shot is going to miss the net. Is that Jason Zucker? Nope, that's Jake Gensel. Somebody was overplaying the puck. I just automatically assume it's Zucker. We have a stoppage here, though. What is the call going to be? Is there a penalty? Well, they're going to break, so we will see when they come back from break, but just under 5 minutes to go. Still 2-2. Possibly a game postmarked for overtime. Hopefully, knock on wood, not postmarked for a shootout, because we all know how that's going to end. But with this, going into this overtime, I do want to ask, first of all, thank you to everybody that's tuning in. If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in. If you've been here the whole time, you're a saint. Thank you for watching me for the past 2.5 hours. But if you're tuning in, this is the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, Watchalong. One of the several watchalongs that we have throughout the season. We're going to have multiple watchalongs every single, I'm going to see how many times I can say that word. Every single week, we're going to have multiple watchalongs. So different hosts, different games, different teams that we're doing watchalongs for. Definitely tune in. And also, a little bit of a shameless plug here. Tune into the Tip of the Iceberg podcast, which is the podcast I do covering the Pittsburgh Penguins, as well as the Hockey Hotbed, where I cover every single team, all 32, across the NHL. Like I said, thank you for joining us here on the Hockey Podcast Network stream. Drop us a like if you would. Get involved in the comments. It has been an active comment section throughout this game, and I appreciate everybody that has been in the comments. So it's like Hikaru has been here since the beginning. Mad Mike has been here since the beginning. Isha, he's been here since the beginning. Couple other people. I think I said Mad Mike, but there's been a lot of people in and out, a lot of people in the comments. I appreciate that. Also, if you really like this and you like this format of watching the game with the community, which is the best part, this is why we do it. We love opening it up to a community online on YouTube right now and watching the game with friends, because that's what I consider you all as friends right now. Game's about to start back, but before I say that, if you really like this, hit the subscribe button, because we are going to come at you with watch-alongs every single week, multiple times a week, and sometimes we might even have double headers. Not tonight, but sometimes we might have some double headers with multiple different hosts. So definitely check us out. Hit the subscribe button. We are back in action here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm not in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I wish I was. But we're in action here for the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers. 2-2 game right now. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Who's going to score the game winner? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think is going to score the game winner? Are you sticking with Duclair? Do you think he gets revenge on that no-goal call? Do you think Patrick Hornqvist scores the game winner in his return to Pittsburgh? Huberdeau, opportunity. You know what? There's a glove save. We've been bashing Tristan Jarry for his glove all night. There's a nice glove save on Jonathan Huberdeau when it counts the most. That's the one thing that we haven't seen from Tristan Jarry this year. His numbers are pretty good, but anytime you really need a save, it seems like he always gives up a goal. That's the save that you need. Maybe that's the turning point for the Pittsburgh Penguins late in this game. But who's going to score the game winner? Like I said, you got Duclair. Could he get revenge for that no-goal call? You have Hornqvist, first game back in Pittsburgh. On the other side, does Danton Heinen get into the action? Does Kasperi Kapanen end it? Does Jeff Carter? He seems like he's been all over the place. Already two minor penalties in this game. Does Jeff Carter get the game winner? We'll see. Puck is dropped and another opportunity there, blockered away. Or as one of my heroes says, waffle boarded, or used to say, and that's Doc Emmerich. Obviously, I don't do any justice to that, but at the same exact time, this game right now, I mean, I enjoyed this game thoroughly. There's been a lot of good opportunities. It's been really good hockey. The Florida Panthers are trying to play like a stout road game right now, but at the same exact time, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're doing a lot better job when it comes to stopping the rush for the Florida Panthers. They're making them and forcing them to dump the puck in a little bit more, which is, if they would have continued at the pace that they started, the Florida Panthers, this game would have been 5-2, 6-0, because the Panthers were absolutely blowing up the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first 10 minutes of this game. And the Penguins finally settled in. And now you get what you see now is, wow, Jason Zucker just head-butted the puck. Oh my goodness. You got to love it. You got to love it. But this game, looks like an icing call there. But with a little bit less than, I believe, 3 minutes to go, let's take another look at this bold play. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Headbutting the puck. I really wish I could remember which Looney Tune I think he looks like, because I said the wrong thing the last time. Jason Zucker trying to stall at an icing call. The referee just came over and yanked the towel out of his hands. It's a pro move. Stalling within 2 minutes left in the game after an icing, but the ref was not having any of it. Seems like the ice is starting to tilt a little bit in the Florida Panthers' favor. But who do you think is going to score the game winner here? Who do you think is going to be the difference maker in the next 1 minute and 34 seconds? Or if it goes into overtime, who do you think is going to win it? I'm going to stick with my earlier pick whenever I was saying who's going to score next. I'm going to say Kasperi Kapanen. He's going to put one in the back of the net. He's out there right now with Big Jeff Carter and Jason Zucker. So we'll see what he does. The Penguins have it in the zone. Opportunity. Kapanen almost deflects that one, and it's saved again by Sergei Bobrovsky and just kind of discarded away. Opportunity in front here, and Florida Panthers able to get it out. Number 13, I believe that might be Sam Reinhart. He's able to get it down into the zone. Total ice time tonight, 2 liters for the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's coming up here on AT&T Sportsnet. 26.5 minutes for Chris Letang. And he's probably going to be on for the next 48 seconds until the end of this period. But can the Panthers put one in the back of the net before the end of this game here? They're cycling the puck well, trying to get an open shot. Barkov takes it, gives it over to Weegar. Weegar has an open shot, and there was a huge rebound, but luckily Jake Gensel was there to deflect it and clear it from in front of the net. Puck goes back the other way, and Aaron Ekblad's able to take it behind his own net. Are they going to sit and wait for overtime? Doesn't look like it. With 18 seconds left, Panthers coming out. They dump it into the zone. Mike Matheson behind in his own net, and there's a stoppage in play. It might have been an icing call. I'm not exactly sure, either that or an offsides. Isha commenting in here, the fact Letang can still play these types of minutes is amazing. Yes, it is kind of otherworldly at this point. I mean, let's not forget, the guy just got off the COVID list last week. He plays in 29, 30 minutes a game. Power play, penalty kill, ridiculous. If I had half the conditioning of him, let's be serious. I'd still be doing. I still wouldn't be a professional athlete, that's for sure. But I'd be in a lot better shape, that's for sure. I could run a little bit more. 2 seconds and 1, and both teams will collect a point in this game. We have overtime, bonus hockey, which means bonus watch along time. You gotta love it. Pittsburgh Penguins, Florida Panthers, 2-2 at the end of regulation. Once again, thank you to everybody that has joined. If you joined earlier and are not in the stream anymore, you can come back and listen to it, obviously. Well, thank you for joining. If you're joining right now or you just joined, thank you for watching us here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, brought to you as always by DraftKings. Make sure you use promo code THPN at the DraftKings Sportsbook app for great odds and opportunities. Again, promo code THPN. So 2-2 going into overtime. ESPN has the rights for the NHL. I'm watching this game on ESPN Plus. So you know what? Let's go with that. Bucci Overtime Challenge. Hockey Podcast Network edition. Who is scoring in overtime? Give me one player from each team. Put it in the comments. Let's see if any of you can correctly predict who would score the overtime game winner. Now, all of you, or most of you, correctly predicted that Anthony Duclair would score a goal, and he did, but offsides took it away. And that is why the Pittsburgh Penguins, once again, able to collect a point, hoping to get more than 1 point. Hoping to get that second point. Hikaru says, sticking with Letang. Well, Hikaru, if the Panthers were to win, who do you think is going to score? Drop that in the comments as well. It's been a really fun game. I've really appreciated doing this. I will have a post-game after this. Quick post-game show. Most of you have been around for the entirety of this game so far, so we'll have a little discussion afterwards, talk about the game, wrap it up. But as of right now, 2-2 going into overtime. The goal scored by Teddy Bluger, opened the scoring in the first period for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then it was Frank Vetrano. Frank Vetrano? Yeah, Frank Vetrano. And then Evan Rodriguez in the second period, able to put the Pittsburgh Penguins on top. And then early in the third, Sasha Barkov doing what Sasha Barkov does and tying this game up. Duclair had a goal, but it was disallowed thanks to an overtime. Again, Sasha Barkov included in the play. But that's where we stand right now at 2-2 going into overtime. Here are the stats. Florida Panthers, 36 shots on goal. Pittsburgh Penguins, 29. Block shots, 14-9 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Now we'll go down and get hits as well. 30-26 in favor of the Penguins and hits. Faceoffs, it is 28-22 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are underway in overtime. So we have Letang. I'm going to say Kapanen for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Huberdeau for the Florida Panthers. But for right now, the Penguins control the puck. Chris Letang out there again, logging a couple more minutes. He sends a dangerous pass backward, but luckily Jake Gensel is able to figure it out. An opportunity here for Jeff Carter comes down the wing and a big save by Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, Bobrovsky has been on fire. Hikaru says, if you have to pick Panther, going out on a limb and saying Reinhart. I like that selection. I do. I really like that selection there. So Hikaru has Letang and Reinhart. I have Huberdeau and Kapanen. We'll see if either of us are right. I believe that was Reinhart right there, shooting, just missing the net. But the Penguins get possession back just a minute into overtime here. And an opportunity, it looks like John Marino going to take it into the zone. He's going to circle back. And, we don't have time to get into this fully. I really think there should be a backcourt violation penalty in NHL overtime, which means once you take it over with possession over the red line, you cannot take it back over the other direction yourself, meaning your team. I really think that should be a 2-minute penalty. Not only would it probably reduce the amount of shootouts, but it would also make 3-on-3 overtime a lot more fun. As I say that, Anthony Duclair out on the ice, and the Panthers right now cycling the puck, trying to get an opportunity. I believe that's Anton Lundell with the puck now. He's harassed a little bit by Mike Matheson, and he takes the puck out of the zone. He comes back in, and he is shoved to the ground by Evan Rodriguez. They try to get a play up to Brian Rust, but it just does not work. Rust able to beat out the icing call to keep the play going. But he had a really good opportunity there. Tristan Jarry just missing him on the lead pass. Mike Matheson, he's beat behind the net. I believe that's Duclair again. That is Duclair again. Barkov tries to go across. Kapanen, a nice play. But Barkov regains possession. We're almost halfway through the overtime period here. Not really many shots. Mike says, I think that would get filed under a delay of game. An opportunity here for Mike Matheson, though, on a breakaway. He fans on it. Good defensive play by Sasha Barkov coming back and not allowing Mike Matheson to get that shot off. Spinning shot opportunity there, but Teddy Bluger is back. Bluger turns the puck over to Barkov. An opportunity gives it to Huberdeau, and Huberdeau trying to toe drag Kapanen, but Kapanen able to get a nice stick in there. And the Panthers are fighting for it behind the net. Who's going to come out with possession? Looks like Huberdeau is. He takes it. Opportunity. Nice pass there from Teddy Bluger. Good job to clear the puck. And a 2-on-1 for the Penguins if they hurry, but it is the end of their shift. Teddy Bluger opportunity. Toe drags. Doesn't get it and is able to get possession of the puck, though. This is slowing down mightily out there. I believe both teams are in need of a change. Chris Letang back out there again. What else is new? Gives it to Jake Gensel, and somebody just creamed Sergei Bobrovsky. I believe that might have been Huberdeau. I don't know what he was looking at, but he just ran over his own goaltender. We'll see how that fares for the rest of this game. Letang taking it, trying to get a shot in, and somebody else, this time a Penguin, just runs over Bobrovsky, and the Panthers are not going to take kindly to that. I don't know who is on the ice for the Penguins, but he just trampled Sergei Bobrovsky with about 1:31 remaining here in the overtime period. I know I'm basically doing play-by-play right now. I don't know if you guys don't like that. I don't know if I'm allowed to do basically play-by-play. I'll try not to do that. It's all on commenting about the game, not just being the radio voice or something. That was Jake Gensel, by the way, that ran over Bobrovsky and ended play there. I believe they're going to call a penalty here. Goaltender interference. Is that the call? Yep. Jake Gensel is going to go into the penalty box, and this is a great opportunity for the Florida Panthers to end this game. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Bobrovsky was pretty far out of his net, but you still got to keep your head up, and you still got to see what's going on there. Yeah, I don't by any means think that was intentional by Jake Gensel, but you have to know what's going on there. Bobrovsky's a little far up out of his crease, but he has that's a judgment call. Looks like the Florida Panthers probably going to take a timeout to try to regroup, make sure they try to hopefully end. They're hoping to end this in overtime. Penguins fans are not. But it has been a pretty wild overtime. And we talk about 3-on-3. Whenever it first came out, obviously everybody remembers the Nathan McKinnon 3-on-3 goal for Team North America against Team Sweden in the World Cup of Hockey. That was what it was meant to be. Picture perfect. That is what it is. But lately, strategy gets into it and head coaches get into it and it slows down. But this one has been pretty entertaining. Back and forth, couple of really good opportunities. Sergei Bobrovsky probably has not been having a good time. He got ran over by his own player, then ran over by Jake Gensel there. But 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this overtime. It's going to be spent on the penalty kill. So if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, I guess you're hoping for a shootout. Oh, no. Yeah, no, if I'm putting money on this game, if I'm live betting at DraftKings with my promo code THPN, I'm live betting the Panthers. Power play to end overtime and the shootout, considering what Tristan Jarry has been in the shootout. Boy, wouldn't it be a story, though? It would be a nice story if Tristan Jarry was able to actually do something. But we still have 1:20 till we even get to that point. So let's continue to watch here as the Florida Panthers try to end this game in overtime on the power play. 0 for 3 on the power play so far tonight, though. That is important to note. They have not been able to score on a couple opportunities. Just cycling. Opportunity shot. Nice save there by Jarry, and that might have also been an interference, but they're not going to call another penalty in overtime like that. It's a good point there from Isha in the comment section. Panthers are lucky to have Sam Reinhart now. What a boost to their depth, and it was huge. I mean, think about the fact that in the past year, they were already a good team to start last season, throughout most of last season. Late last year, they add Sam Bennett, and now this offseason, they're able to go out and get Sam Reinhart. That's huge. Shot, and I believe a big glove save, either that or it hit the post from Sasha Barkov. But yeah, their depth is unreal. I mean, it helps when Carter Verhaeghe has played as well as he has. I mean, he's been a real revelation for them. And also, Anthony Duclair finding a home and finally being able to get some consistency down there in Florida. That's huge. That's huge. Like Richie said, He was a Coyotes legend, but he's never been as comfortable as it seems like he is right now. That's going to do it for overtime. Oh, we're headed to a shootout. What did I say at the top of the show here that I hope there's not a shootout? I probably jinxed myself. I'll take the blame for that one. I've been talking about it a lot. So as of right now, we're going into the shootout. The final kind of like shot breakdown and the stat breakdown, 37 shots to 31 in favor of the Florida Panthers. So if you're looking at numbers, Tristan Jarry, 35 saves on 37 shots. He's had the bulk majority of the workload, but Sergei Bobrovsky, I feel like he's made some 10 bell saves in this game. 29 saves on 31 shots. Block shots, 14-10 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Hits, 31-28 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And faceoffs, 30-22 also in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. But it comes down to a shootout. We're talking about Chris Letang, how much he plays. 28 minutes and 27 seconds. That's where he's at tonight. Has an assist and 4 hits. I mean, the guy just plays. He really does. Caro says, pray for Tristan. Oh, we all are. We know he's at least good for 1 save. I mean, that's the one constant. He's made at least 1 save. So we'll see how that goes. I think fortune favors the Panthers in this situation, but we'll see. The hockey hack. Is that Richard? I know Richard goes by the hockey hack sometimes. I wonder if that's Richard. He says, rather listen to me than the Pens radio crew. Why, I really appreciate that. I do. Thank you for that kind comment. And also, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, because that would make me happier than anybody can imagine. But here we go. Jake Gensel is the first shooter for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They choose to go first. He always comes in slow. Backhander, and Sergei Bobrovsky makes the save. Well, yes, it is. That is Richard. Thank you for joining the stream, Richard. I really appreciate you coming on. We were talking about you earlier. I mean, your ears must have been burning a little bit. Talking about you and your AHL acumen. So thank you. I believe this is Anthony. Nope. Sasha Barkov coming down on Tristan Jarry. He's going real slow. Yoy. And he just missed the net. He came in, kind of out-deked himself, and I believe he just missed the net. I don't know if Jarry made the save there. No, he did. He did. So there's that 1 save. Now we need some goals. We need some goals there. Chris Letang, pretty good shootout. That glove from Sergei Bobrovsky has been working. But I also echo the sentiment of Isha once again. Thank you again to everybody for joining. This chat has been great. And we will have a post-game show. So this is not like the game's going to end and I'm going to go away. We're going to have a nice post-game show here. Jonathan Huberto here trying to give the Panthers a lead in the shootout. And, yep, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Panthers now take the lead in the shootout 1-0. Just forehand, backhand, opened up the 5-hole. And, yeah, Jarry's got to keep his stick down on that one, I guess. I don't know. It's all up to Brian Rust now. This could end either very nice or very poorly. Oh, off the post and in. Brian Rust keeps the Penguins alive. The Rustache is strong with that one. I don't know what, Nick, you're talking about. We got like 8 on the network. Actually, I don't know how many we have on the network. I know at least of 2. I do not like the shootout. But you know what? It is what it is. Mondo loves the shootout. He says, awesome shootout. Here comes Patrick Hornqvist. Oh, thank you. If Patrick Hornqvist would have ended that game. Oh, crazy. So we're all even going into extras now. 2 saves from Tristan Jarry. Stop the press. And the hockey hack is correct. Oh, shave my back with a rusty razor. Shout out to Mike Lang. Here comes Big Jeff Carter. Oh, what a silky smooth play, and he beat Sergei Bobrovsky to put the Penguins in the advantage. That's a tennis term, not a hockey term, but I'll use it here. Advantage Penguins here in the extras. A beautiful play, and he just had him all the way. Bobrovsky bit on the backhand bid, and a beautiful goal. Thank you to Isha, who's tuning out. He's been here the whole time, so I appreciate that. Anton Lundell. And a big save made by Tristan Jarry. The Pittsburgh Penguins have won it in a shootout. I definitely did not expect to say those words tonight, but that is going to do it. What a great confidence boost for Tristan Jarry, making the save on Anton Lundell. Again, if you've been listening this entire time, I appreciate you listening. But I was also talking a lot about Anton Lundell and how much Jesse Marshall was excited about the prospect of having him come to Pittsburgh. Didn't happen. That's a question I'm asking too, Hikaru. Jarry won in a shootout? I would hope this is still the planet Earth. But I don't know. I might have to watch Eternals again and see if any other planets resemble this one. Pittsburgh Penguins are victorious tonight by a score of 3-2 in a shootout. Shootout win. How about it? A nice save by Tristan Jarry. That has to feel good. Beautiful. Nice big celly there from Tristan Jarry, and that is a wrap on that game. I'm going to take a very, very quick break so I can fill up my water bottle, and I'll be back really, really quickly. Okay? Don't go anywhere. I wanted to cut that short because I wanted to talk to everybody again. Welcome back to the Hockey Podcast Network live stream, the post game of this live stream between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers. I almost said the Pittsburgh Panthers, but it's not College Football Saturday. It is Hockey Thursday. That doesn't make sense. Yep, the hockey hack is correct. Pittsburgh Penguins win in a shootout. It is a miracle. Tristan Jarry makes more than one save, and that leads to the Pittsburgh Penguins getting 2 points instead of one on the night. We're going to have a nice little post-game show here, wrapping up everything that we saw over the past 3 hours, and the Pittsburgh Penguins getting off the schneid, getting a win in the shootout. First and foremost, we're going to break down the stats here. 38 shots on goal for the Florida Panthers, 31 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Both goaltenders very busy tonight. I mean, it didn't seem like that at first because, realistically, the Florida Panthers in the first 10 minutes of this game owned the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was a matter of the fact that the Panthers were just coming into the zone easily. There was basically no resistance from the Penguins defense and just getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, yet Tristan Jarry able to stand tall. And he had a really good game. He did. It was an amazing game by Tristan Jarry. Something that you really need to see if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. The goals that he allowed, top shelf from Sasha Barkov. That's a hard shot to save anyway. And Frankie Vatrano on that 2-on-1, also a really difficult shot to save as well. A lot of the fans and a lot of the listeners that were watching are Penguins fans. Kate Berry, been here since the beginning. She says yes with exclamation points. I echo that sentiment. Pens win. Gotta love it. Andrew is back. Welcome back, Andrew. He says, what a game. He's back. And holy moly. Yes, it was a fantastic game. Really great hockey through and through from both teams. But as I mentioned, at the outset of this game, Florida Panthers looked like every bit of the team that we expected the Florida Panthers to be. How am I doing tonight? I don't know. I'm pretty happy now. Penguins won. It's a good night. I have tomorrow off. I'm going to work, but I have tomorrow off. Got some podcasting to do. Working for the Hockey Podcast Network is a passion. It is a love, and that's why I will be recording tomorrow's episode tomorrow, and it'll come out a little bit later. Jarry's nightmare is over. Yes, it is. He finally won a game in the shootout. The Pittsburgh Penguins now advance to 1-3 in shootout competitions. This is it is not the 14th. It has not been a full month since the season started. The Penguins have been in 5 shootouts. They've been in 6 overtimes. Extra times. 2 games ended in overtime. So Andrew's having a decaf coffee. It is late at night, so definitely decaf. I'd be worried if it wasn't. Mondo says he's not a Penguins fan. He's not. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. What team do you support? Just curious. What team do you like to support? I mean, you said something about the Stars earlier. Are you a Stars fan? I believe that was you that said something about the Stars. Question from Andrew. Am I a football fan, NFL or CFL? I am a football fan. I tend to lean towards the Pittsburgh Steelers, but since I do work covering the NFL for a different job, I try not to lean any direction. I just enjoy watching football. I do lean towards the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's mainly because of where I'm from. But back to the stats really quickly before we wrap this up. Going to go for another 5, maybe 10 minutes at most. But the rest of that game, 4 penalties for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 3 for the Florida Panthers. No power play goals. The biggest penalty, obviously, Jake Gensel taking a goaltender interference call late in overtime after he just absolutely truck-sticked Sergei Bobrovsky. So you expected that to be a penalty. Luckily, the Penguins, with the top penalty kill in the league, over 92%, able to kill that one off and give Chara the opportunity to get a little bit of redemption in the shootout. So a good job by the Penguins penalty kill and also the Florida Panthers penalty kill in this game. Hits favored the Pittsburgh Penguins 31-28. Faceoffs also favoring the Pittsburgh Penguins by a total of 30-22. So with that, who is, if you're still here, which there are still a couple of you here, Dallas Stars, Mondo says. I knew it. I knew you were the Dallas Stars fan. And hey, they're not playing tonight, but I do appreciate you tuning into this live stream of me talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Wow, I don't know what I was saying there. But I appreciate you tuning in here to the Hockey Podcast Network. We'll do a Dallas Stars one. If not me, the guys at Starcastic Remarks will do a Dallas Stars one. We will have it, and I will make sure that you know about it for sure. The Elder joining on says Canucks are down 3-0. Yeah, Isha just left, and that might be why. Actually, I think we just solved the case of why Isha left. He saw the Canucks were down 3-0, but he was with us for the entire time, so we appreciate him for that. But the rest of this game, like I said, the start of this game, the Florida Panthers really took it to the Pittsburgh Penguins early. I mean, they were just kind of skating circles around the Penguins. The Penguins would get the odd chance here and there. Luckily, the Penguins settled in at about the 10-minute mark, and then you saw the majority of the game. There would be stretches where the neutral zone was completely shut down. Neither team could get through. And then right after that, it seemed like each team got tired and it opened up, and there was a lot of great opportunities. I know for a fact that Sergei Bobrovsky made about 6 or 7 10-bell saves at the end of the second period and to start the third period before the game was tied up. And Tristan Jarry was just solid all night. One thing that I said with Tristan Jarry early in this game, and it held true to the very end, is that he was on his angles all night, which means he had, oh, look at that, Isha is back. But no, with Tristan Jarry, that just basically means that he was confident coming into today. So, and you saw that. That's why he had such a good game. That's why he finally got the monkey off of his back, was able to get that win in a shootout. So it's a very good opportunity for the Pittsburgh Penguins to hold up on a win. Hi, Elder. How you doing? I don't know if you're saying hi to me or to Isha, but either way. But I just want to quickly go through the scoring updates here, what happened, what we saw in the game. Scoring opened up in the first period. Teddy Bluger able to score a goal based off of a really, really good pass from Chris Letang, opening up the scoring, putting the Penguins ahead. A couple minutes later, Frankie Vetrano takes a pass from Anton Lundell on a 2-on-1. He does not miss, and the score was 1-1 after the first period of play. Like I mentioned, it was back and forth a couple times in that period. It was nice. Zachary McNally also joining the stream. We're doing a quick post game here, but thank you for joining the stream. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not, because we will be back. I will be back, and the whole Hockey Podcast Network will be back with more watch-alongs similar to this one. After the first period, like I said, it was 1-1. In the second period, the lone goal was scored by Evan Rodriguez, one that nobody in this chat, I did not predict, did not see that was where it was going to go. But Evan Rodriguez able to beat Sergei Bobrovsky, who was also on his game all night tonight. Put the Penguins up 2-1. They took that lead into the third period, and issue with the Pittsburgh Penguins was the third period late. But they didn't even let it get to that point because a beautiful pass from Jonathan Huberdeau finds Sasha Barkov, who does not make a mistake, shoots it top shelf. We talk about Tristan Jarry's glove side, and we talk about Pittsburgh Penguins goalies not having a great glove side, but at the same exact time, that shot was near perfect. Okay, it was almost better than anybody could have expected. So a really nice goal there, makes it 2-2. Late into the third period, less than 5 minutes to go, there was a third goal for the Florida Panthers. Anthony Duclair, a beautiful goal on a beautiful setup once again. There were a lot of very nice goals in this game. Wasn't awful, but another beautiful goal. Unfortunately, though, Sasha Barkov was offsides when he was trying to keep the puck in. So the goal gets disallowed, which is huge for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We go into overtime. Back and forth we go. Sergei Bobrovsky gets truck sticked first by Jonathan Huberdeau, his own teammate, and then even harder by Jake Gensel. This time that results in a penalty and a power play for the Florida Panthers with less than a minute to go in overtime. Penguins are able to kill that off. We go into a shootout where the Penguins, they've struggled mightily. But Jeff Carter, with a silky smooth play, able to beat Sergei Bobrovsky, put the Penguins up, and then Tristan Jarry able to stop Anton Lundell, who was one of the best players on the ice in this game. So now I can do my 3 stars because it makes sense. My number 3 star is going to be Sasha Barkov with an absolute beauty of a goal and just was all over the place. I mean, he gets kind of a demerit for the offsides on what would have been the game-winning goal for the Florida Panthers, but he's still the 3rd star of the game for me. 2nd star of the game, I'm going to give it to Chris Letang. The guy was out there the entire time. Beautiful assist to open up the scoring, getting Teddy Bluger on the score sheet, and just 28 and a half minutes of ice time, playing in all situations. In overtime, made a couple of really nice plays on that penalty kill that allowed the Penguins to get into a shootout. Was not able to score in the shootout, but still really good. And then my number 1 star of the game, I kind of teased it earlier when the game was still going on. My number 1 star is going to be Tristan Jarry. That's a little small. There was 36 saves on 38 shots for Tristan Jarry. He finally gets a shootout win. 1-3 now. He saves more than 1 shot in the shootout, and that bodes well for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But thank you to everybody for tuning in. That is going to be it for me. I'm going to go hit the hay. Thank you again for everybody for tuning in. I appreciate a lot of people were here for a very long time. And I really appreciate you just kind of joining me throughout this entire game, throughout this entire experience. If you enjoyed this, hit me up on Twitter at Nick_Berlansky. Tell me that you liked it. I will do more. If I have it in my schedule and I am able to do it, I will do more of these because it has been a great opportunity. It's been a great time talking to you, great time meeting a lot of you as well and watching the game with you. If you haven't already, just like this stream. Also, subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel because I will be back doing more watch-alongs of whether it be Pittsburgh Penguins games or even Dallas Stars games possibly. We've dipped into that a little bit tonight. Either way, I'll be back. If not, somebody else will be back. I will be back. I don't know why I said if not. But everybody else will be back on the network that you have seen on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, we will be back. Penguins win by a score of 3-2 in a shootout. We'll see you guys.